the international style capital of Milan, Italy.
Turkish Airlines, 7 days, bwin, Endesa, official global sponsors in association with the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
Has rolled out the red carpet for the crowning of a new continental champion tonight as Real Madrid and Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv meet for the 50th time in their illustrious history to decide which of them lifts the trophy in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague championship game. Mediolanum Forum is rocking with a sellout crowd of almost 12,000 fans in anticipation of fireworks from Real Madrid, which returns to this championship game with one of the best offenses ever seen in the EuroLeague, and Maccabi, a team built on heart, whose fans have come to Milan in huge numbers to push their team to the top. Good evening, I'm Frank Lawler from EuroLeague TV. Welcome to the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague championship game. I am joined by former EuroLeague champ George Zidek. And George, we have a classic matchup in a dramatic setting with two teams that have earned this opportunity with spectacular play. Let's start with Real Madrid. What can you say about them going into the title game?
Good evening, Frank. Very few teams in Final Four history were even remotely as dominant as Madrid, winning the semifinal by a record of 38 points against their arch-rival FC Barcelona. I honestly believe that since Madrid lost a 17-point lead and the title in the last season's championship game, this has been a team on a mission, both to entertain like few teams before it and to win this title. They have accomplished the first part with spectacular play all season long. Tonight, they want to lift the trophy, which would be the Madrid's first this century, and they want to do it their way, having fun.
There we get a look at Real Madrid as they arrived to Mediolanum Forum a little earlier. And George, perhaps only the players in their locker room and their legions of fans here and in Israel expected to see Maccabi in this game. But now that they're here, how dangerous is Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv?
Very dangerous, Frank, and for one big reason, their team-wide focus. Head coach David Blythe of Maccabi said yesterday that his team is humble, hungry, knows its limitations, and knows it must win together, especially against a super talented opponent like Real Madrid. Maccabi has had 2 miracle finishes on this very court in the playoffs and in the semifinal. In that case, rallying from 12 points down with 11 minutes left to beat CSKA Moscow. The warning is clear to Madrid. It will take all 40 minutes and maybe more, Frank, to shake Maccabi.
We are getting ready for the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague championship game. Real Madrid and Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv coming to you live from Mediolanum Forum in Milan, Italy. There's only one former EuroLeague winner in the game tonight, Maccabi sharpshooter David Blue. So the rest of the players on both teams, all the players on both teams except for David Blue, this is a one-of-a-kind opportunity to become what they dream about, a EuroLeague champion. George, you were in their shoes. What can you tell us about how these players are feeling during warm-ups?
Only one thing, Frank. They want to play basketball. The two teams that play with a joy for the game. All these players have waited a long time for this chance, and as many of them told us last couple of days, they cannot wait for this game to start. Neither can I, and I believe that neither can anyone who calls themselves a true basketball fan.
History is served right at tip-off tonight as Real Madrid and Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv celebrate their 50th game together with a battle for the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague trophy.
Certainly the matchup of Real and Maccabi with all of its historical significance and with all of the tradition that goes on behind it it's a present to all our fans.
For me, it's like a classical, like a derby almost in Europe. There is so much names behind this atmosphere, behind this game, behind this matchup, that it's always for me a classical and a great game to watch for the final.
Maccabi surged into the title game on Tyrese Rice's game-winning basket Friday to cap a thrilling comeback against CSKA Moscow.
When you're 15 points down with 12 minutes to go in the game, and you're able to keep fighting, keep trying, keep playing with the same energy, that's not luck. You look for that luck.
Madrid followed new EuroLeague MVP Sergio Rodriguez to blow away arch-rival FC Barcelona 100-62 for the biggest semi-final victory in Final Four history.
The kind of team that on a given day can literally run a team out of the gym, and they did that to a very, very good Barcelona team yesterday at the highest level and the biggest stage in Europe, and that speaks volumes.
Maccabi has the experience of former EuroLeague champ David Blue, who hit 5 shots from downtown on Friday, and will match up with all EuroLeague forward Nikola Mirotic, one of 8 Madrid players who shed 14 three-pointers in the semis.
No question we're going to have to make shots over the top in order to compete, and we're going to have to do a great job on their long distance shooting, because they're a team that shoots a lot from 3 and makes a lot from 3, and this is an enormous factor in any basketball game.
People talk about our offense, but it's something we try to improve from the first day. Our defense and our offense. At the end, it's basketball. You're going to have the ball, but you cannot keep it for 40 minutes. So you have to be able to do a good job both ends of the court.
While the shots fly, veterans Sofoklis Skorzanitis and Felipe Reyes will lead the battle in the paint as a new chapter in basketball's greatest international rivalry comes your way in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game next.
What I would like to bring to tomorrow's game is what we've been doing during the whole year. That would be a good situation for us. That's what we wanted to show. That's our team, and that's what we look at and we'll focus on trying to do tomorrow.
The great thing about basketball is the endless possibilities until the final buzzer sounds, and we hope we give ourselves a chance to win.
On to the player introductions live from Milan. We will get a look at the lineups in a moment, and they're jam-packed with talent, George. Tell us about some matchups you will be watching closely as this game gets underway.
Well, first, I think everyone will focus early on Maccabi big man Sofoklis Skorzanitis, both his teams and Real Madrid. Big Sofo is the EuroLeague star per minute scorer, and he tends to establish himself early in the game. He will have a former teammate and a Greek national player against him, Yannis Bourousis, who has the height advantage. If Bourousis can use his experience to even neutralize Sofo, that will be a big boost for Real Madrid.
And we get a look on court at the trophy that these two teams will be playing for tonight. They've been playing for it all season, but it comes down to one game, and the trophy sits between Real Madrid and Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv at this very moment. George, we don't usually jump right to talking about bench players in a game like this, but you don't often find the season's MVP on the bench like Real Madrid has in Sergio Rodriguez.
Oh yeah, we have to talk about bench players. Sergio Rodriguez is like a booster rocket for Real Madrid, Frank. Some people say he changes games, but you know what I say? He takes them over. His dribbling and passing create tons of offense for his teammates, not speaking about his shots. But Maccabi has its own spark plug in EuroLeague rookie Tyrese Rice, the hero of Friday's comeback in the semis, with the game-winning basket in the final 6 seconds. Rice started a few games early in the season, but has come off the bench since then, so expect a game within a game when these two get on the floor.
Here we get a look at Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv being introduced, and they have the majority of fans in the crowd here, so they have a 6-man in Mediolanum Forum tonight. We'll get a look at their lineup in a minute, George, but let's talk about a couple of their players real quick. Alex Tyus in the second game at Tel Aviv that these two teams played earlier in the season, both won by Real Madrid, but he went 9 for 9 with 11 rebounds in his best game of the season. He's got to be pumped for this game.
Hey Frank, that's why he leads the EuroLeague in the field goal percentage from 2 points. He's averaging 74.5%, so they better watch out for him. He had a difficult time in the semifinal against CSKA Moscow because of the big body, so let's see how he does tonight.
And there we get a look at that roster from Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv. As you know, Sean James, their center, has been out for several months and will not play has not played in the Final Four. Also, Sylvan Landesberg was hurt, didn't play in the semifinal. We don't know if he will get a chance to play tonight, but he's on the roster. And there you see their road to the championship, including that big semifinals win over CSKA Moscow, but not forgetting they won on a similar miracle in Game 1 of the playoffs in this very building, Mediolanum Forum, to be the only team without home court advantage to make it to the Final Four from the playoffs. Now we see Real Madrid starting to be introduced, George, and we have to talk about a couple guys there, both on the All EuroLeague team. Rudy Fernandez does it all, really.
He does it all, Frank, and a lot of people focus on his offense, but I say if you go back to the series in the playoffs, you have to also think about his defense and rebounding. I mean, he sacrifices his body for the team. He is fearless. He will take a charge, and he will get some important rebounds.
And when you talk about Nikola Mirotic, he had his best game since the regular season in the semifinals with 19 points. He's a two-time Rising Star Trophy winner. This may be his moment.
I agree with you 100%. He was just spectacular, and he was so calm about it, Frank. His body language was incredible. I mean, he just came in here on a mission. He wanted his team to get to the final game.
The joint is jumping. It's Mediolanum Forum, Milan, Italy. And we are seeing the introductions for the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game. And what a historic moment it is. 50 years ago yesterday, Real Madrid won the first of its 8 continental titles back in 1964. 50 years ago yesterday. They are coming out now trying to win their first of the new century. Of course, Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv has 2 already in this century, and history is served even once we just have tip-off in this game. There's a look at Madrid's roster. They, of course, are missing their backup point guard, Dante Draper, who has not played in the Final Four. We see their road to this championship game. They knocked out the 2-time defending champions Olympiacos with a very tough 5-game series, but they came out of that and came back to the semifinals on Friday with a record-breaking win over their arch-rival, Barcelona.
Just incredible, the intensity they showed in the game, Frank. They started 8 points down. All of a sudden, they are up 8 points at half, and then it was all Real Madrid. They just made all the shots. They made all the defensive stops.
There's our 2 coaches. We saw Pablo Lasso, and we also see David Blatt of Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv. Pablo Lasso has a 5-0 record against David Blatt. As we see the starters now for Maccabi Electra, Yogevo Hayon at the point guard, Ricky Hickman and Guy Panini on the wings, Devin Smith playing 4, and Sophocles Skortsanitis will be the big man in the middle to start this game for the visitors for Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv. They're not playing like visitors tonight with a big portion of this crowd. Here's the starters for Real Madrid: Sergio Yui, point guard, Rudy Fernandez and Tramel Darden on the wings, Nikola Mirotic and Yanis Barousis in the middle. 3 of them have started every single game for Real Madrid this season. 2 others almost every game they've been in. Here's our referees for tonight's game: Christos Christodoulou of Greece, Sasha Pukul of Slovenia, and Milivoje Jovcic of Serbia are the men with the whistles in tonight's Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game. We remind you we had a 3rd place game just a little while ago that finished with FC Barcelona defeating CSKA Moscow 93-78. So Barcelona goes home with a bit of a consolation prize. But everybody will be waiting to see who wins between Real Madrid and Maccabi. This will be their 50th meeting since their first back on February 2nd, 1968. And for the first 20 years of that rivalry, these 2 teams played 27 times in quarterfinals, semifinals, and their only other title game before tonight in 1980, which Madrid won. Most recently, as I was mentioning, Maccabi beat Madrid in the 2011 EuroLeague semifinals, really ran them off the floor in the semifinals in Barcelona. But as we said last year, Madrid came back and swept their playoff series, also won the 2 games in the top 16 this year. So Madrid has now 6 wins in a row over Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv. We are getting close to tip-off. The stage is set for the biggest single annual game in the world of basketball, the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game. Real Madrid and Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv for the 50th time. And for the trophy, it's all about one word: devotion. And that applies on the court, their coaches, their clubs, the fans here in Milan and around the world watching. George Zidek, it doesn't get any better than this. 40 minutes to glory, history in the making. We are ready to tip off the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game.
Frank, I think there's so much history that you just spoke about, but everything goes out of the window. Just what you said. This is devotion time, baby. This is 40 minutes of hell. Everybody is going to give this best, and it's going to be spectacular basketball, I hope.
2 of the most spectacular teams we've seen, if you think of Madrid, in terms of leading the league in almost every offensive category: 3-point percentage, scoring, free throw percentage. Also, assist to turnover ratio. One of the things they do so well is they're safe with the ball. As we see an introduction on the court. Those are the Emporio Armani Milan one-team athletes, the little kids in this Milan community who benefit from one team, the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague's corporate social responsibility program, which is spread all around Europe. The program is integrated here in Milan into the Armani Junior program. It focuses on children age 8 to 13 attending primary, secondary school and living in neighborhoods with the highest crime rates. They teach values including honesty, commitment, respect for others, and teamwork and courage through basketball. And it's happening all over Europe. It's happening in Milan with this one team, one Milan effort that has been part of the Final Four weekend, as well as many other events at the Piazza del Duomo, the fan zone, and so on and so forth. And it's just something special to see these young, disadvantaged kids share the spotlight with the biggest stars of the EuroLeague.
Anytime you get a chance, it's a great thing to do something like EuroLeague is doing, and everybody has to applaud that. Frank, you mentioned the fans over the Piazza del Duomo. It's been an incredible experience here in Milan.
The players themselves are the first ones to say, we want to do this. We want to share with the children around Europe, and they've been doing it for a couple years now. And it says something that right before their championship game, the dream of their lives, they share that with these type of children. But we are getting ready now for tip-off in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game. You can't say enough about what this means to every person in the place, but especially these players on the court. Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv, steeped in history. Real Madrid, the very same. And as you see, Real Madrid trying to become just the third team to beat, to win the title after winning a semifinal against a team from the other country. We are ready to go. Mediolanum Forum, Milan, Italy. 40 minutes to glory in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game. Tip-off is controlled by Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv. Yogevo Hayon with the basketball. Hand off to Ricky Hickman, goes to the rim, gets it blocked, and it's Nikola Mirotic in transition to Sergio Yui. Rudy Fernandez for three, on the mark. Rudy Fernandez has the Madrid offense rolling.
Real Madrid on both sides. There was defense with the block, and immediately a great three-pointer by Rudy Fernandez.
Ricky Hickman inside the Sofilis Sertanitis, and he gets fouled from behind by Yanis Barousis. There you see the three-pointer by Rudy Fernandez, and you had to figure that Maccabi would have been looking for that, but Madrid has a way of getting its shots when it's on the move.
Frank, it was so quick. I mean, they didn't have a chance to set up their defense, but for sure, transition defense is something that David Blatt must have talked about.
Maccabi inbounds after the foul to Ricky Hickman. Up to Yogevo Hayon, lob inside the Sofo. He gets the ball, rolls around the rim, the rebound by Nikola Mirotic.
They will look for him early on while he has his energy, so he has to connect on these shots. He was deep.
Sergio Yui to Yanis Barousis for three. He hits the back of the rim and misses. And Maccabi Electra with a chance to put some points on the board. Benini inside the Sofo, he's in deep. This one goes down. Sophocles Skurtsanitis has Maccabi on the board.
They're going to have to help Barousis because, as we mentioned before the game, you cannot defend Sophocles with one man.
Certainly not when he gets that position down low. Sergio Yui out top for Madrid, goes around Sofo, kicks it off to Darden for three. He misses, and Sofo controls the rebound.
That's an interesting opening of the game for Real. It's a third three-pointer.
Hickman to Panini for three. He misses off the back of the ring as well, a little strong.
A lot of threes there, Frank, early on in the game.
Well, these teams are not afraid of shooting threes, that's for sure.
They will put it up.
Rudy Fernandez met in the lane by Sophocles Skurtsanitis before he could get his shot off.
I mean, that was like he hit a truck right there. That was a hard foul there by Sofos Lepsanidis.
Rudy hits the floor. Let's see Sofo. Well, that's one heavy arm that came across.
Yep.
Went for the ball, clean foul, stopped Rudy Fernandez, but they say he was in the act of shooting, so he will go to the free throw line.
Well, I think every player expects this in the final game, Frank. You don't save anything. And so far his last line of defense with his big body, I'm sure that he's going to try to plug the holes if somebody gets beaten on the perimeter. That's his role.
As you saw, Rudy Fernandez ranked 7th in free throw percentage in the EuroLeague. He's got Sergio Rodriguez ahead of him because the team leads in free throw percentage. 2 go down by Rudy, but that could be a factor as this game goes on.
That's 5 points for Rudy to open up the game.
Rudy Fernandez, all the offense so far. Maccabi back inside the Sofo. Sofo gets blocked this time. Rudy was there from behind. Sergio Yui on the run. Kicks it across court to Fernandez. Inside the Borussis, ball out of bounds off Devin Smith. It will remain Real Madrid possession.
But Frank, you see the quickness that Real Madrid just pushes the ball up court and they immediately start to attack. Yui coming off the screen and looking for Rudy Fernandez. It's very quick offense.
Inbounds to Darden, now top to Yui. Rudy Fernandez isolated on the wing. Looks inside to Mirotic. He's got Devin Smith guarding him. Goes to Borussis. Too late for the shot. 24-second violation on some good defense by Maccabi.
That was a mismatch there for Mirotic. I thought he was going to shoot it in the face of Smith, but he waited. He made a nice penetration, but there was too little time left for the shot.
Mirotic got double teamed. Nice work on defense by Maccabi, and that forced the pass that expired the possession. Ohayon comes the other way for Maccabi. To Ricky Hickman. Guy Panini goes back to Hickman and again inside to Sofo. Swings all the way to Devin Smith, going baseline. Blocked by Borussis and out of bounds.
Well, I mean, what a defensive factor he's been, Frank. That's his second block. First he blocks Big Sofo in a post-up situation, and now look at the penetration, and Smith, just a clean block by Giannis Borussis, who's got very long arms. 2 meters, 13 centimeters. A lot of experience too, Frank.
We talked about that before the game. If he can impede Tsourtsanidis, that is a big factor. Tsourtsanidis again with the hook shot, rolls it in. Tsourtsanidis has all of Maccabi's offense and Rudy Fernandez all of Madrid's.
Well, we talked about it. They really look for Sofo early on to establish a presence on the inside.
Rudy out top, guarded by Ohayon. Again met by the tip to the corner. Mirotic for 3, misses everything. Maccabi in transition. Ohayon likes to finish, and he does. Yogev Ohayon puts Maccabi ahead on the scoreboard and lifts the fans out of the seats in Milan.
And this is Maccabi basketball. They will push the ball, and they will also look for easy baskets, even against Real Madrid.
Sergio Yui uses the screen by Borussis, but Ricky Hickman gets called for pushing. Here's the replay. Ohayon never shy. He goes 1-on-2. When he gets room to go to the basket, he does a great job of finishing, just like we saw there.
He is very tenacious, Frank. Fearless. The guy just attacks the rim on the fast break.
Inbounds for Madrid. They get it again to Rudy Fernandez. Across to Yui. Baseline jumper by Yui. That misses everything, but Borussis' tip also misses. And Sofo doing some rebounding so far. Ball ahead for Maccabi, right inside the Sofo. Another hook shot. This one off the mark. And Mirotic grabs the rebound.
That was a good position there for Sofo, but I think he's getting a little bit too tired. This is a 4th shot that he has taken. One got blocked. It's a lot of energy that he has to exert. I think he's going to go off the court, Frank. I think there's a substitution that Alex Tyus is going to come to relieve him.
That's exactly what his role is. What's interesting is on the other side of the court, the ball has been in the hands of Rudy Fernandez almost constantly. As Madrid up early is now behind by 1. Fernandez to Yui. In for Maccabi is Alex Tyus replacing Tsourtsanidis. Going to be Rudy from deep. Off the mark, and the rebound by Devin Smith.
That was a dangerous help right there. I don't think that Hickman can help off Rudy. He's got a hard hand. I mean, I think that he just has to stay with him all the time. He has to be aware.
Ohayon on the attack for Maccabi. Heads off to Hickman. Gets a screen from Tyus. He'll look upstairs. No, cross court to Panini for three. Off the front of the rim, rebounded by Tremel Darden.
I thought that guy Panini thought about it for a second, Frank. I think he sometimes just sketches it and shoots it in fluid motion, but he hesitated just a tiny second.
Mirotic blocked by Tyus.
Unbelievable block by Alex Tyus.
I'm sorry, it was Devin Smith on the block. Devin Smith came across and blocked that. Tyus was behind.
Wow.
Look at the block by Devin Smith. Maccabi has to be happy with the defense they played so far. Just 5 points in 5 minutes for Real Madrid is great defense.
I mean, they're just swarming on the ball like a bees on honey. Incredible intensity. And Devin Smith, I didn't even see that, Frank, with the quickness that he came on there.
David Blue comes in the ballgame now for Maccabi. Madrid sticking with its starters through 5 minutes, midway through the first quarter. Ohayon on the wing to Devin Smith. Backing down to Rudy, gets around him and sinks the floater. So a 5-8 lead for Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv. They are doing what they planned to early in this game against the electric Real Madrid.
But that's a solid strategy right there, because you posted up Rudy Fernandez. That was a disadvantage defensively right there. You see it. Here he's backing him down, 1-2 dribbles, nobody comes to help. It's an easy layup right there for Devin Smith.
It's a 5-8 scoreboard. Timeout on the floor midway through the first quarter of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game. And early on in this game, as we take a look at the timeout huddles, we saw Sophocles Shortanides is the go-to guy right off the bat for Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv, setting screens, receiving down low, hitting his second shot. And Big Sofo ripping rebounds as well, as you see right there. Shortanides took 5 shots already in this game, hitting 2 of them, couple rebounds, got 1 shot blocked, as you see right there. But he definitely was the go-to guy for Maccabi Electra so far.
And he drew also 1 foul on Giannis Borussia, so he did his job well.
So Sophocles Shortanides, as you see there, getting a rest for the work well done to start this game. He's got Maccabi ahead 5-8, and it's been more than almost 3.5 minutes since Real Madrid has scored all the 5 points so far by Real Madrid from one player, Rudy Fernandez. And they return to the court with all their starters, Real Madrid does. Sergio Yui inside the Borussia, backing down on Alex Tyus. Goes up, foul on the play. It will be Alex Tyus.
Frank, this is clear, because now if you see, Maccabi's got a very small, agile lineup there on the court with Alex Tyus at 5, Devin Smith at 4. So immediately Real Madrid goes to a post-up situation with Giannis Borussia. That's a smart recognition right there.
And a clear foul by Alex Tyus that puts Giannis Borussia on the free throw line.
This will be the most difficult task there for Maccabi Tel Aviv, just to stay out of foul trouble and somehow contain the bigger and taller players of Real Madrid on the post-up situations.
But you have to remember, George, that as long as Madrid is going inside and playing the game inside, they're not running. And in that way, Maccabi might get long-term benefits out of this.
I think that they will still look for chances to run, but I mean, if it comes down to a possession game, they will immediately go to a post-up. They have to, Frank. I mean, the size advantage is incredible with Giannis Borussia being guarded by Alex Tyus.
And as you see, Giannis Borussia hit 2 free throws. He's part of that great free throw.
Yeah, exactly.
Shooting by Real Madrid, 80% for a big man.
Yep.
They'll take that almost any time down the floor. They've got within 7-8. Madrid has, but it's Maccabi with the ball. It's going to be Smith from the wing. Court 3 left wide open and knocks down his shot.
And they have to hit the open threes. David Blatt spoke about it. We need to hit open shots, just like that.
He's got 5 points. Rudy Fernandez step back jumper in the lane. That doesn't hit anything. Couple air balls so far from Madrid, uncharacteristic. And Ohayon pulls it out to start the offense for Maccabi. Ricky Hickman out top, driving on Yui. The ball was slapped at by Terrell Darden, apparently hit Ricky Hickman and went out of bounds on him, so turnover.
That was number 1 turnover in the game. There was no turnovers for Real Madrid and the first one for Maccabi, so it's a very sharp game that we are seeing here in the championship game.
And there you see 2 pointers. Madrid has not been able to hit any, while Maccabi's got most of their offense that way. Ahead for Yui out top. Goes across to Rudy Fernandez inside to Barusis. Again backing down on Tyus. The hook shot blocked. Darden gets it back. Yui shoots it from deep. He misses. And the rebound falls to Devin Smith.
I'll tell you what, Frank, Maccabi is just dominating the game right now. They are undersized, but they are making the blocks. They are making the hustle plays. They are in control.
Felipe Reyes in the game now for Real Madrid. First substitution for his team. Hickman to Devin Smith. Shot clock down. Smith takes a long one off the mark and rebounded by Barusis. Ahead to Fernandez. Cross court to Yui for 3. Off the mark. Darden fighting for the rebound. It's loose. But Ohayon comes up with it and goes in transition. David Blue free. Smith gets it. Mid-range jumper for Devin Smith off the backboard, makes it 7-13 for Maccabi.
That is very smart basketball. Very nice pump fake there by Devin Smith off the bank shot. Very good basketball by Maccabi.
Only 2 free throws in the last 6 minutes for Madrid, but Rudy's trying to finish that, and he does from downtown. Rudy Fernandez, he is hot, but he's the only one on Madrid so far with 8 points.
Rudy is just giving a big boost for Maccabi. He's from Real Madrid.
The lob to Tyus. Rudy steals it. He's on the break. Decides to slow it down. It's going to be Barusis alone. Turns away from the three-pointer. Felipe Reyes inside, off the backboard and in against Alex Tyus. Good play by Reyes.
And this is experience. Felipe Reyes had a spectacular semifinal, as most of his teammates did, and he's just picking up where he left.
Madrid now within 1. They were just down 7-13. David Blue with his first 3 of the game, off the mark. Too strong. Yui in transition to Reyes for the layup. Real Madrid is taking the lead.
And you see the quickness, Frank. I mean, you close your eyes, you make 1-2 mistakes, and immediately Real Madrid just comes storming back.
7 points in little more than a minute for Real Madrid. Seizes the lead. That is what they can do. The corner jumper by Ohayon is off the mark, and a rebound by Rudy Fernandez.
I think that Real Madrid is just doing a hell of a job just shutting down the interior, and the shots from the outside are not falling for last 4 possessions for Maccabi.
Yui turns the corner, goes to Barusis off the backboard and in. It's a 9-0 run, and going into the final minute of the first quarter, Madrid turned on the Jets and took over this scoreboard. Maccabi will want to react before this first quarter ends. Hickman gets through the defense, misses, but there's Alex Tyus to slam the rebound.
What a spectacular finish there by Alex Tyus, just tipping the ball in.
Rudy to finish the quarter, off the mark. Tyus with the rebound. 24 seconds left. Quick shot by Rudy in that situation.
I mean, we've seen some fast tempo basketball. I mean, both sides clearly want to run and score some easy baskets.
Ricky Hickman will run down the clock to the end of the quarter. He's got Darden guarding him, gets a screen by Tyus, chased by Felipe Reyes, makes the block. Barusis ahead to Yui, but no shot will be taken. And at the end of the first quarter, in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game, we've had a couple.
That was a double block right there, Frank. It was Felipe getting the touch on the ball, first on the shot, and then Barusis just making sure.
We've had a couple lead changes, but right now it's Real Madrid ahead, 16-15 after 10 minutes of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game. There you see some of the statistics. The 2 3-pointers by Real Madrid, and the free throws have them ahead by 1. Come back and join us for the second quarter.
Turkish Airlines, Spalding, Intersport, official global sponsors of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
One quarter is complete as we come back to Mediolanum Forum in Milan, Italy. There's the Real Madrid president, Florentino Perez, being introduced. He's in town to see if his basketball team can win the Continental title. A week from now, his football team will also play for it. And Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv president Shimon Mizrahi, of course, taking in one of the many finals that his team has played since he has been at the head of the club since the late 1960s, George. Talk about tradition.
A lot of tradition, Frank. You mentioned it early on, 50th game between the two clubs. Let me talk a bit about the stats. The thing that's standing out are 4 blocks by Real Madrid. They are really dominant on shutting down the interior. This is helping them to get back into the game. Also, Maccabi only 1 for 6 from the 3-point line. David Blatt said, if we want to win, we just really have to knock down some open shots from 3 points. They haven't done it so far. Let's see if they can pick up.
Coming on the floor for the second quarter, the MVP, Sergio Rodriguez of Real Madrid, as well as the hero of the semifinal, Tyrese Rice for Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv. What a great matchup that's going to be. The ball swings around the perimeter. Rodriguez inside to Barusas, backing down on Alex Tyus. Gets it to Felipe Reyes for 3. He misses. The foul and a rebound. Let's see who it's called on as Rudy Fernandez crashing the offensive board.
And this is what I was talking about, Frank. It is not only the points, but look at that. He just fearlessly goes in there for the rebound, takes a big hit right there, but it's a foul on him and another chance for his team. Rudy Fernandez is a warrior, Frank. I'm telling you, he is eager to win the title.
And Real Madrid will inbound. How many times do you see Rudy Fernandez hit the floor? He's a lightweight player going against all these big guys, but he sacrifices his body night in and night out. He gets the ball back for Real Madrid. They have a 1-point lead. It's Fernandez on the wing, going inside to Felipe Reyes, now guarded by Joe Ingles in the game for Maccabi. It'll be Barusas from deep, off the mark. Felipe with the rebound. Misses, and Rudy Fernandez slams the rebound. He has been all over this game.
Did you see that, Frank? That was spectacular. Unbelievable tip and dunk there by Rudy Fernandez.
What timing by Fernandez. Maccabi has to react. It's Ricky Hickman from deep. He can't get the ball to go down. And Real Madrid continues on a roll. And they have a 3-point lead. They go right inside again to Felipe Reyes. Ball swings. It's going to be the MVP, Sergio Rodriguez from downtown. Making it 21-15.
And Frank, the strategy is clear. Go inside and then go outside. But look at the replay of the tip-in dunk. Unbelievable display of athleticism.
Rudy Fernandez. How can you time it when the ball clicks around the rim?
Unbelievable.
And with that incredible play and the 3-pointer by the MVP, Sergio Rodriguez, it's suddenly a 14-2 run for Real Madrid.
I mean, Real Madrid is in control right now, and the momentum is clearly on their side. But Frank, let's speak about strategy. They are going down to the post-up situation every time down. Patiently, they establish on the inside. If there's a double team, they go outside and they create chances. You saw that on that last possession.
They have a size advantage. They are using it. And you have to wonder if Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv head coach David Blatt will want to get Sofoklis Shurzabidis back in the game. Here's a flashback to the 2 last championships won by Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv. The first one, the history-making biggest win in the European Finals history. There's David Blue was on the floor 10 years ago. Maccabi beat Fortitudo Bologna 118-74 at that very time. Dunk by Maceo Bastin. That happened in Tel Aviv. The next year they went to Moscow and they did something that no European team had done since the early 1990s, and that is a repeat title. The great Vinny Gershon led his team to a repeat 90-78 over Tal Ceramica. There's Nikola Vujicic of Maccabi, now one of the management personnel there on the bench, and he was one of the part of that back-to-back victory. And we now see Silverblue Sorchanis back in the game for Real Madrid, guarded now by Marcus Slaughter. I'm sorry, in for Real Madrid. Sofo in for Maccabi, of course. Backs down and gets held by Slaughter, so immediately comes in and draws a foul. You had to figure that was going to happen, George, after the Real Madrid big men were manhandling the smaller Maccabi big men.
They had to react, Frank, after the timeout. Sofo is back in the lineup. Let's see how can he be guarded by a lot smaller Slaughter.
Tyrese Rice with his first touch. He had a great game. He goes around Sergio Rodriguez, met at the rim, and in the break, it's steal. Sergio Yui gets cut down by Joe Ingles, so the Real Madrid break away continues.
Frank, did you see the incredible speed after the turnover that Sergio Yui just turned on the Jets and he sprinted forward there with Rudy Fernandez? It was a 2-on-1 situation and a timely foul there by Joe Ingles. Otherwise, it would have been another 2 easy points for Real Madrid.
This is classic Madrid basketball, meaning classic this year. They just put it into another gear. They do it several times a game. They certainly did it against their arch rival Barcelona on Friday night and blew them away with a 38-point victory, the biggest in semifinals history. Nobody was expecting it. And here, they've gone from 13-7 down to 21-15 up. That's a 13-point swing on the scoreboard in 4 minutes. Yuri out top, stops and pops for 3. Doesn't make it, but Felipe Reyes in there for the offensive rebound.
That's all about positioning. Did you see how he very smartly creates the position for the offensive rebound? All experience for Felipe.
6 offensive rebounds, 2 for him. Rodriguez, they go inside to Reyes. He takes a jumper over Sofo this time and knocks it down. You can't say enough about this man. He's been in Real Madrid longer than anybody else, and he's been waiting for his moment. Of course, he's a former world champion, so he knows what these kind of games are like. David Blue, stop and pop jumper, misses. It's all Real Madrid right now. They are running away in the second quarter. The foul by Tyrese Rice as Sergio Rodriguez made his move to the basket.
Frank, clearly Maccabi is on their heels. I mean, they just have to react to the incredible intensity that Real Madrid is playing with on defense and on offense.
John, I have not seen, or George, I have not seen the famous Maccabi matchup zone as Felipe Reyes misses, and that one is rebounded by Devin Smith. Tyrese Rice comes the other way. They go inside to Sofo. He gets fouled on the, looks like on the floor before the shot went up by Felipe Reyes.
That's a smart use of his fouls. Felipe goes out of the game, will be substituted by Nikola Mirotic, but that was a very smart play. I mean, he knew he was beat, and it was going to be 2 easy points or 2 free throws, so he just makes sure he fouls him before the shot is taken.
Good foul by Felipe Reyes. Maccabi inbounds, gets it out top to Joe Ingles. Devin Smith hands off to Tyrese Rice. Rice gets in the lane all the way to the rim. Out it goes. Sofo rebounds it, but Maccabi having tough luck right there. They go back inside to Sofo. Sofo turns, gets fouled, but no, he travels. That's what the whistle was.
He split the defense.
The shot down. So rarely you see him with such good feet that Sofo has. Rarely see him get called for that. Let's see. Spins.
He lost the balance there, Frank. I mean, he stepped on foot of Slaughter, and I think he just shuffled his feet a little bit. I thought he lost his balance.
He went over Slaughter's foot, and there was a little movement there. The referee called it, and a technical foul has been called on Maccabi for arguing that call. So Real Madrid gets an extra point, as if this team needs extra points. And they go up 9. Remember, the score was 13-7. So we're talking about a 17-2 run now for Real Madrid.
And Maccabi has not scored in the second quarter yet.
The lob to Slaughter for the slam. Rudy Fernandez to Marcus Slaughter. Madrid is doing everything it wants in this second quarter.
The beat is going on, Frank. I mean, they are completely in control, and Maccabi is shocked.
David Blue in the lane, drives off the rim, gets fouled, but he'll go to the free throw line.
But no easy shots, Frank. Did you see that? They were challenging. This is a Slaughter's dunk. Unbelievable. Again, this is the situation after the pick and roll. This is what Maccabi is going to have to defend. But how can you defend it if they set up everything so quickly?
Exactly. It's the way the ball moves so quickly. The dribblers are so quick as well. I mean, when Fernandez and Sergio Rodriguez are dribbling around several players all the time.
And that's what you just mentioned before, that the matchup defenses are not working.
David Blue adding 2 free throws for Maccabi Electra, much needed at this point because they needed to get on the scoreboard in this quarter. Make it 26-17, down to a 9-point difference. Ball goes inside to Mirotic, back on the floor for Real Madrid. Backs down on David Blue, turns on him, can't finish. The rebound's loose, and Devin Smith comes up with it for Maccabi.
That was a good patience on the post-up, just Mirotic could not connect on that shot.
Tyrese Rice to the hole and one. He gets fouled, so Maccabi not letting this go on much longer, reacting to the big surge by Real Madrid.
And again, Tyrese Rice is providing a big spark off the bench. This is what he's capable. He did it in the series against Milan. He did it again in the semifinal game on Friday, and now he gives very important 2 points there for Maccabi.
Marcus Slaughter goes out of the game on that foul, and big Salah Mejri comes in as Tyrese Rice completes the 3-point play. So a nice reaction here by Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv, just when they looked like they were in trouble.
And this is the luxury for Pablo Lasso. He's got 5 big men at his disposal. Tyrese Rice, Mirotic, Mejri, and Slaughter, Frank. I mean, he's got a lot of fouls to spend.
Tyrese Rice bothering Rodriguez, but he gets around him on the run to Rudy Fernandez. Hands it off again. J.C. Carroll in the game for Real Madrid. The kick out to Carroll, he'll pump it. J.C. Carroll starts his trip onto the floor in the final with a 3-pointer.
He's been off. This is his 12th month after a knee surgery, and he is back, Frank.
Devin Smith gets in the lane. He gets fouled by Salah Mejri.
I mean, imagine, Frank, that he gets going too for Real Madrid. I mean, they will have 4 incredible outside options there. If J.C. Carroll is on, it's another very dangerous weapon.
It's as we said in the semifinals on Friday, Madrid broke the EuroLeague scoring record with the most points in the season this year, and they did it without J.C. Carroll playing for 3 months.
Yep.
And he is all offense. I mean, not all offense, but he's an instant offense.
I mean, if you remember the regular season, Frank, he was playing in the first few games of the top 16. He was just unstoppable at some nights.
Instant offense, as we just saw, but Devin Smith getting to the free throw line at the other end, which will be very important for Maccabi. Smith, one of their best free throw shooter at 84%, knocks down both. Without him, they're much lower. They're below 70% for the season without Devin Smith. Rodriguez comes across half court against Tyrese Rice. And Mirotic gets caught dropping Joe Ingles to the floor in the post. So Madrid puts a body on as well. There you see leaning into the post-up move a little too much. Nikola Mirotic gets called for an offensive foul.
I think he might have a little bit of jitters and nervousness in the Nikola Mirotic. He started rough on offense, and now I think it was uncalled for just to be overly aggressive. He needs to wait and allow the game to come to himself.
Just the second turnover for Real Madrid. Tyrese Rice off the backboard misses, but the tip in by Smith also misses. J.C. Carroll comes back with the rebound. Tough luck for Maccabi. Sergio Rodriguez.
That wasn't a bad position for Rice.
Inside to Salah Mejri against Devin Smith, who commits a foul. We think of Mejri as a shot blocker, but he's able to make some moves inside. He's got great footwork.
I mean, he's got such a long arms, Frank, that if he gets it on a one-on-one situation against Smith, I think that he should be able to take advantage.
We have a timeout on the floor in Milan, Italy, the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game, 29-22. And we get a look at some of the physical play. Sophocles Tsourtsanidis banging Rudy Fernandez to the floor. Baroussis blocked by Devin Smith. Another block by Alex Tyus. And Tyus slamming down a rebound. So far against Felipe Reyes, they see them pushing. And a foul by him. So apart from the spectacular open court play, there's a lot of heavy banging going on in this final.
Now this is final, Frank. I mean, there are not going to be any easy points. I mean, everybody said it. They expect extremely physical play. And everybody spoke about it as small, tiny details. One hustle play, one rebound, they could decide the game. So everybody is focused for 100%, and this is the result. They play with extreme physical.
George Zidek, Maccabi came out and scored an 11-2 run to lead 13-7 in this game. Madrid, as expected, came back with its own run of 17-2 to take over the scoreboard. Would you say that Maccabi has at least calmed down and have the rest of this half to just show that they belong and have a chance to come back, or they can even go ahead before halftime?
I think I would agree 100% with you. They have calmed down, but they have not found it any easier to score, Frank, because Real Madrid is really shutting down the interior, and it's extremely difficult for Maccabi to score.
Inbounds out of the timeout by Real Madrid. Go to Felipe Reyes. He brings it out top to Sergio Rodriguez, this year's EuroLeague MVP off the bench. He goes inside to Reyes off the backboard. And you can't say enough about Felipe Reyes and what he does for this team.
And I had it here as one of the goals for Maccabi to stop the pick and roll play, and they have not been able to do it.
Ingles out top for Maccabi. Gets the ball to David Blue. Back to Ingles. Screened for by Tyus. Steal by Madrid. It was Rudy Fernandez knocking it away. Salah Mejri coming up with it.
Very active hands even for the big man.
Rodriguez sets up a play. Goes around Mejri. Mejri hands off to Rudy. 7 on the shot clock. It's J.C. Carroll for 3. Off the mark, but there is Felipe Reyes, and he makes it an 11-point lead for Real Madrid, the biggest of the game, 33-22.
And it is so difficult for Maccabi because they have to be concerned about the outside shot. If they shut the outside shot down, there's somebody on the offensive rebound.
Tyrese Rice to Joe Ingles, looking for somebody to pass to. It's Tyus to Rice. He puts in a one-hander, so every point counts now for Maccabi, and any quick and easy one is even better.
Anything they can get, any points they can cut down till the end of the first half. They want to go to the locker room with a comfortable deficit.
Sergio Rodriguez out top, gets the screen from Mejri, goes to Mejri, in the side, misses the dunk, but good defense by Blue, gets his own rebound, turns, but he gets called for walking. So nice defense by David Blue against the big Salah Mejri.
I was surprised to saw Mejri on that first try. I mean, he was just hanging in the air. I thought he was just going to bring it down with authority. And then he got just kind of tangled up with his feet and traveled. I mean, he was high up there, and I think he could have slammed it home.
217 Mejri. He seemed to be going for it, but just didn't reach due to the good defense.
And very long arms, Frank, to go with 2 meters and 17.
33-24 lead. Ricky Hickman back in the game and with the ball for Maccabi. Rudy Fernandez.
He's everywhere, Frank.
He's everywhere. He was there before the pass got there, but knocked it out of bounds. Just great, quick feet by Rudy Fernandez. He never stops moving on the floor.
He just keeps you guessing. You cannot relax against Rudy Fernandez.
Tyrese Rice takes the inbounds. Goes against Mejri, stops and pops off the mark. J.C. Carroll misses the rebound when it hit the backboard or the rim. And Hickman had the heads-up play to come up with that.
A very difficult shooting position for Tyrese Rice. He was shooting over the big man. This is not the team basketball that Maccabi wants to play.
Ricky Hickman gets called for the foul. Ricky Hickman, draws the foul from Salah Mejri on the pick and roll.
Salah Mejri tries to get out there far from the basket on the pick and roll, put the pressure on the ball, but he gets called for the foul.
We see the Real Madrid president, Florentino Perez, and the Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv president, Shimon Mizrahi, watching the game, of course, seeing if their team lifts a trophy at the end of this. David Blatt giving his team instructions while we wait for Ricky Hickman to the free throw line.
3 minutes there for Salah Mejri, who gets substituted by Giannis Borusic, who had a very good first half so far, Frank. I mean, he showed some leadership, experience. He didn't rush anything offensively and just dominated the paint defensively.
And the free throw goes down by Ricky Hickman, getting his team a little closer. But Salah Mejri leaves the game with 2 quick fouls. And Ricky Hickman downs both of his chances at the free throw line with 2 minutes coming up on 2 minutes left in the first half. Turkish Airlines EuroLeague championship game. Sergio Rodriguez to J.C. Carroll inside to Felipe Reyes, turning on Tyus and putting it over the rim. Felipe Reyes just doing it all since he came on the floor. He's the top scorer in this game with 12 points. As we see after the rebound, Ricky Hickman and Fernandez mixing it up in the rebounding position. They both get offsetting
double foul. Yep. But let me tell you something about Felipe Reyes, Frank. I think he's playing the best basketball of the season. I mean, he is peak in the right moment for Real Madrid.
And that double foul will cause Rudy Fernandez to take a seat. That'll be his second. But you said it all. Felipe Reyes, we used to call him the Warrior, but then he added 3-point shooting and other things to his game. Now that he's 34 years old, David Blue with a stop and pop jumper. Nice shot by him.
Nice play there by David Blue. This is a veteran play, and he brings it on at the right moment.
Cuts it to 7. Remember, the high lead was 11 by Real Madrid. Maccabi cutting it down on the way to halftime. Sergio Rodriguez, another 3 for him. Off the front of the rim, little too deep. He hit his first one. Now Maccabi, a chance to keep trimming this lead. They got a mismatch. Blue and Sergio Rodriguez, and that results in a foul. They will put David Blue on the free throw line, so chipping away. Maccabi Electra, as we knew, they were not.
But I don't think there's anybody in the building here, Frank, that would just say, hey, this game is over. Everybody knows that Maccabi's going to fight for 40 minutes, regardless of what's on the scoreboard.
David Blue hits his free throw as well. So Maccabi perfect, both teams perfect at the free throw line so far. Another example of quality play here in the championship game of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague. And David Blue cuts the difference to 5. It was just 11 a minute and a half ago, so Maccabi has repositioned itself with about a minute left. Ball goes to Sergio Rodriguez inside to Felipe Reyes. He's been the go-to man all along now. Gets his own offensive rebound, kicks it out to Rodriguez.
I'm sorry, Frank, but he's playing like a madman possessed on the inside. It's extremely difficult to find any way to stop this guy on the inside. 4
offensive rebounds. Rodriguez to Yui back in the game. 8 on the shot clock. Drives on Blue. Goes to Felipe for 3. The shot misses and goes over the backboard. So with 39 seconds left, we have a timeout on the floor in Milan. 35-30. Lots of swings in this game. 7-point lead or 6-point lead, I should say, by Maccabi. Turned into an 11-point lead for Real Madrid. And now it's been cut to 5 as we go to a timeout with 39 seconds left in the first half of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game.
I mean, you spoke a lot about Real Madrid just dominating with the offensive rebounds. They got 9 at the moment. Let's look at how it was on Friday, Frank.
We look at the 3-pointers that Real Madrid racked up on Friday. 8 different players hit 3-pointers on Friday, but earlier today, it was Rudy Fernandez getting them started with one. Sergio Rodriguez came in the game and hit his first. Then J.C. Carroll came in the game and hit his first. They're now 4 for 16 from downtown. But on Friday, it was a little better percentage.
They were a little bit hotter, I agree with you.
They were definitely hot. They had 14 by the end of the game one of the highest ever in a Final Four game for Real Madrid. They have 4 today. Maccabi comes out and goes right to the hole with Tyrese Rice missing, rebounded by Sergio Llull.
They went for a quick shot so they get a possession of the ball back because Real Madrid has to shoot the ball before the quarter's over.
There's about a 4-second difference on the shot clock and game clock. Madrid's going to dribble it down. Rodriguez to Borussis, to Llull. Inside to Borussis, overshoots him with the pass. So turnover with 7.9 seconds to play will give Maccabi another chance to cut this lead. And that would be saying a lot if they could get it down by 2 or 3 points more. As we see Guy Panini, one of their sharpshooters, enter the game for this last 8 seconds, basically.
I'm sure that he's going to stand in one of the corners and just going to try to spread the defense out.
He's already standing there, George, even before the inbounds. So Yogev Ohio will inbound to Tyrese Rice. That's the ball dribble, picks it up, goes ahead, gets a screen, Blues open. He'll take the shot over Reyes and knock it down to end the first half in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game. We got a great one already with David Blue making the shot right before halftime over some good defense to bring Maccabi back from 11 down to within 35-33. Here's a shot again. He hit a big one with under 20 seconds left in the semifinal.
He's a
among
master.
his 5 three-pointers, and he was ready for this one as well, knocking it down over the outstretched arm of Felipe Reyes to make it a whole new ball game in these last 3 minutes of the first half.
Absolutely, Frank. You saw David Blythe on the picture right there. He is believing, and so is the whole Maccabi team.
They certainly are. We're going to get a chance to talk with one of them here at halftime.
Turkish Airlines. 7 days. bwin. Endesa. Official global sponsors in association with the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
Let's see if they can fulfill what Pablo Lasso was saying at halftime. Get more to the free throw line. So far, they have shot only 5 free throws.
We are ready for second half action. The drama continues as Real Madrid inbounds with a 2-point lead, 35-33. Sergio Llull at the top with the ball. Working on Ricky Hickman, gets a screen from Borussis, goes across to Mirotic. Inside of Borussis, working against Sophocles Tsourtzanitis.
And this is not what Maccabi wants to see.
The foul is on Sophocles Tsourtzanitis.
Only after 17 seconds of play, Sophocles Tsourtzanitis is picking up another foul. That's number 2 for him.
Sofo laughs it off, however, as Madrid takes another try. This first possession of the second half. Mirotic swings it out top to Sergio Llull. Llull to Rudy for 3. On the mark for Rudy Fernandez. Started the game the same way.
Exactly. He opened up a first half with a 3-pointer and a quick one to open up a second half.
He becomes the top scorer in this game, Rudy Fernandez with 13 points. Maccabi on its first second half possession goes to Sofo in the high post. Devin Smith on the wing. They were trying to post him up, but he backs his way down there. Turnaround jumper by Devin Smith. And the ball comes off the rim and was blocked, or the rebound was swatted out of bounds by Giannis Borussis, so Maccabi will get a second chance as well on its first possession.
I have to look back at Rudy Fernandez. He's shooting 3 for 4 from a 3-point line. Extremely dangerous shooter.
The inbounds by Maccabi. It'll be Devin Smith. Gets it to Ohio. Shadowed by Sergio Llull. Inside to Sofo. Drops one defender. Gets to the rim. And let's see what the call is. Sofo was brushed by at least one defender as he dropped one to the floor.
I think he was following the act of shooting, and he's going to have a chance for a 3-point play because he's lining up there on the free throw line. So
that's exactly what was called. Sofo went up. We'll see if the foul looked like it was Rudy Fernandez flying in, who got a hand on Sofo's shoulder. Of course, that didn't. One hand on his shoulder never stopped Sofo.
I wonder if Sofo even felt that one.
And he turns it in to a 3-point play. to keep Maccabi within 2. They double team Yui across half court.
That's the pressure defense that Dave Bly wants to bring up.
Rudy Fernandez driving the lane, goes inside of Borussis. How do you get that pass through? And Borussis puts it down.
A great pass by Rudy, but an incredible composure by Ioannis Borussis to keep the balance.
Great pass, great catch, great finish. Borussis has Madrid up 4 again. And another foul, Sophocles Tsotsonidis. Offensive foul in the paint as he was trying to clear space. We see the pass through the thread the needle pass by Rudy to Borussis. At the other end, it was Sophocles Tsotsonidis clearing out Nikola Mirotic, who drew the offensive foul on Sofo, and a turnover as Sofo takes a seat, and Alex Tyus returns to the game for Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv.
That has to be frustrating for David White because only after a minute and a half, Sofo is on the bench.
Rudy again from deep. This one misses. And a rebound by Tyus.
Frank, my prediction is that Sofo needs to stay on the floor for good quality 15 minutes. Then it's a big boost for Maccabi.
We will see if that happens. Right now it's Panini on the wing. Gets the ball back to Hickman. Hickman in the lane. Swings it to Devin Smith for 3 on the mark. Maccabi within 1, 40-39.
I think it's starting to look up better from the three-point line for Maccabi. They just really need to hit the open threes. We said it before.
Ball on the wing with Tremel Darden inside of Mirotic. Double team. Kicks it out to Darden. Darden drives and gets fouled by Guy Panini.
A very versatile Tremel Darden. I think that he will do anything to help his team. He mentioned in the press conference before the game, if I can get an extra rebound, if I can play and show some toughness, I will do anything to help my team to win the championship.
Ball inbounded by Real Madrid. Sergio Yui on top. Gets a screen from Mirotic. Doesn't use it. Keeps dribbling, pops a 3. Sergio Yui off the back of the rim into the hands of Ricky Hickman.
I would assume that Pablo Lasso wants to see a little bit more of ball movement.
Hickman slows it down. Probes the lane. Goes back to Smith. Another jumper by him. That one misses. Rebounds loose. Let's see who comes up with it. The ball goes inside to Panini. Misses the layup. Borussis. Panini gets it back. It's still loose. Maccabi gets it again. So they are getting the offensive rebounds on this possession with a chance to go ahead.
I mean, Panini had just wide open shots right underneath the basket. He just was not able to connect. Hickman
stop and pop jumper puts Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv ahead and gets the fans out of their seats. The first Maccabi lead since 1:27 of the first quarter. Madrid goes inside the Borussis, backing down on Alex Tyus. The double team comes. The ball tipped out of bounds by Panini. But in the first half, George, we saw when the ball went inside to the big men when Alex Tyus was on the court, no big help coming from Maccabi's other defenders. This time, the double team came right away, and Borussis had to get rid of it.
But the problem is that Maccabi players are not moving, Frank. If you saw it, there were 4 players standing in the same spot.
The Madrid players, is true, they were standing still. Madrid's players, and Panini got a hand of that ball, could have stolen it, but it'll be another Madrid possession. They are down for the first time since late in the first quarter, and it has been a continual comeback run by Maccabi, completed on that last shot by Ricky Hickman as they go ahead 40-41. There's only 3 seconds on the shot clock for Madrid to do something here. Let's see what they can come up with. Rudy Fernandez to Sergio Yui. Fakes, shoots the 3, off the mark. And Maccabi with the rebound. Yogev Ohayon across half court. Driving, kicks out the blue. Steal attempt by Darden doesn't work out. It'll be Hickman against Darden with the screen by Tyus. The kick to Panini, the shot by Panini, and the rebound pulled down by Ioannis Borussis.
This is a very intensive game right now. Both teams are doing a great job on boxing out.
Mirotic spins on the post, gets fouled.
It's on the floor.
by Ohio, but his reverse layup will not count because the foul was on the spin. So good smart play by Yogev Ohio.
And a smart recognition there by Nikola Mirotic too, Frank, because he didn't get caught up in muscling down the smaller player. He just immediately reacted on the contact.
6 minutes left in the third quarter. Very tight ball game. Maccabi holding its first lead for the last 15 minutes. Madrid with a chance to take it back.
That's a zone defense there by
Matchup
Maccabi.
zone of Maccabi is on. Madrid goes inside the Mirotic, driving on blue. The hook shot by Mirotic takes back the lead for Real Madrid.
And this is what he needs to do, just calm down and play one-on-one. He was wide open on that.
Mirotic, of course, one of the heroes of the semifinal. Hickman driving baseline, sends a pass out to Ohio. Working on Yui, gets a screen from Tyus. Stop and pop jumper at the free throw line, misses for Ohio, and Yui comes up with the rebound.
That wasn't a bad shot for Yogev Ohio, and he freed himself and could have made that one.
Yui driving, cross court to Darden. He'll take his first three of the night and knock it down. Jamel Darden gets Madrid's lead up a little higher. I'm sorry, he missed one earlier, but 1 for 2 for Darden has Madrid up 4.
And this is what he does. He just waits for his shot.
Post up by David Blue against Yui. He commits a foul in the mismatch. So both of these teams very smart, going right in the post whenever they have a mismatch and forcing fouls on the other team.
And if the opposing team is fouling, Frank, they're also using the foul smartly because they are doing it before the shots are taken, so it's always out of bounds.
David Blue with a big screen on Mirotic made him hit the floor. As we go halfway through, the referees discuss it. This players discussing with the referee what's allowable and what's not. No foul was called in that instance. But Mirotic saying he would like not to see that happen to him again. He hit the floor on that screen by. There you see.
They just knocked heads right there. That was unpleasant. I mean, they're clearly going at it, Frank, with David Blue, but this is the final. We said it many times before. You can expect that the sparks are going to be flying.
Oh, the sparks are going to be flying for the next 15 minutes for sure. As the lead has changed hands in the last couple minutes. And we listen a little bit. We look at a flashback. And this would be what happened as Maccabi made it to the final in 2011 by going through Real Madrid with a big semifinal win. They went to the final against Panathinaikos, gave it their best. As you see the spin move there by Jeremy Pargo, but they ran into a very tough Panathinaikos Athens. Antonis Fotis, Mike Batiste started to lay down the law inside, and Panathinaikos end up winning. Most defeats in the title game over the years, Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv with 9. So that was one of them in 2011. This is their next chance to win it, not to be defeated, of course. They inbound down 4 with 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Tyrese Rice back in the game, working on Sergio Yui. Crossover move by Rice, gets to the rim, almost makes the same shot he won the game with the other night, but look at the rebound. Chased down by Alex Tyus, what hustle. And Maccabi gets another try.
This is the hustle play that David Bright just loves his players to always win.
Hickman, step back jumper for 3, knocks it down. Ricky Hickman makes it a 1-point ball game again.
This was a great basket for Maccabi. A hustle play on a preceding play, and now a great 3-point play by Hickman.
Sergio Yui with the ball, goes to Darden. All the starters this second half still in for Madrid. Rudy Fernandez to Yui. 5 on the shot clock. He'll take a 3-pointer off the mark. Maccabi with a chance to go ahead all of a sudden.
There's nothing for Yui. I think he needs to move the ball a lot more. Just be in motion. That's where he's most effective. Just coming off the screens, but don't stand and shoot a 3.
Ball almost stolen by Darden. But Maccabi keeps it and gets it to Tyrese Rice. Gets a screen. He has Mirotic 5 on the shot clock, goes after him, puts the rebound up, puts the layup up, but it's missed, and the rebound's tapped out as Tyrese Rice lands on the floor hard, and the referee blows the whistle. Offensive rebound by Maccabi.
This was a hustle play by Alex Tyrese. Look at that, Frank. I mean, he just dives on the floor and gets another chance for his team. And this is how it ended up, with a three-pointer by Hickman.
There's the three-pointer by Ricky Hickman. They got this game down to a point again, 45-44. The lead has changed hands several times. It happened also in the first quarter, but it was all Madrid in the middle going as they led by 11 until Maccabi trimmed it to 2 on a three-pointer by David Blow to end the first half. We're now third quarter action. Ricky Hickman lob to Tyus, blocked by Barusis, but Devin Smith right there to pick it up, and Tyus with the tip-in puts Maccabi ahead again.
I'll tell you what, Frank, I mean, these guys don't give up. They are undersized, but they just don't give up. They hustle so much, and they earn second chance points for their team.
Hustle, hustle, hustle. That's the offensive rebounds. It's Sergio Rodriguez on the floor, and the tip-in by Barusis puts Madrid back in front. This could get in a seesaw battle. It is a seesaw battle right now, but you can imagine it going that way for some time. Devin Smith from downtown takes the lead back. It could go this way for the next 13 minutes.
Unbelievable. I think that bench is going to have to come into play because the energy that both teams are playing with is just taking a toll on all the players.
Sergio Rodriguez, the MVP of the EuroLeague this season, out top. Probes the lane. Looking for somebody to pass to. It's Barusis for three. This shot's off the mark. Rebound chased down by Mirotic to Sergio Rodriguez for three. Real Madrid back in front. We are going back and forth on the scoreboard in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship
Small,
game.
fine details, Frank. Offensive rebounds, second chance points. This is what is starting to play a major role in the game.
Tyrese Rice turns the corner on Rodriguez. Foul is called on the floor. The push by Sergio Rodriguez gives us a chance to look at the foul situation in this game. Marcus Slaughter for Real Madrid has 3, 2 for Salamentary, so 2 of their big men off the bench. Rudy Fernandez, Sergio Yui, and now Sergio Rodriguez with 3 fouls each for Maccabi. For Maccabi, there are 3 fouls on Sophocles Tzanitas and 3 on Ricky Hickman. And Yogevo Hayon has 2, but we see Sofo come back in the game after we've seen 6 lead changes here in the third quarter already. These teams want it, and they want it bad, and they're not letting either team get the momentum in this game. 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Sofo inside. He takes the lead back, making lead change number 7.
And this is what you expect. If you get Big Sofo in the game, you immediately go to him.
Sergio Rodriguez hands off to Marcus Slaughter. He's in the game with his 3 fouls. Ball goes back to Slaughter, kick to Rudy, fakes inside to Felipe. Felipe gets blocked. It was either Panini or Sofo that blocked the shot. And a foul in transition. Sergio Rodriguez tried to pick the pocket of Tyrese Rice.
Look at Guy Panini just coming from the back and slapping the ball away from Felipe. Nice drop pass there by Rudy.
We've seen him do that over the years a couple times, Guy Panini, but great timing on that one. And the foul was called on Sergio Rodriguez. He thought he'd pick the pocket of Tyrese Rice. Maccabi a chance to extend the lead. 1:40 to play. It's been a great, great final championship game so far. 2 outstanding teams. The ball inside to Sofo. Turning, surrounded, misses, and he gets his 4th foul going for the rebound against guess who?
Yeah. Rudy Fernandez. And that is not smart. I think that you have to expect from Sofo Tzanitas to understand the importance he has for the team. And he has no business of fouling and fouling hard on Rudy Fernandez. Look at the slow replay. There was no doubt that a foul was going to be called. That has to be frustrating for David Blatt.
Tyrese Rice will come back in the game. Sophocles Tzanitas will take a seat with 1:27 left in the third quarter. He had 9 points, 3 rebounds.
But only 8 minutes. 8.5 minutes. This is not enough.
He is the top per minute scorer in the EuroLeague this season, but he's got to be on the floor to make it work.
But also he's the player that fouls most per minute. So that just tells the whole story. Sofo is very aggressive. He's very effective. But he just needs to stay under control.
Rudy Fernandez with 2 free throws. We have perfect free throw shooting in this game so far. Another sign of the great quality. But Fernandez puts Real Madrid ahead 52-51. Ricky Hickman out top. Maccabi finished the second quarter strong. They're going to try it here. Hickman probes the lane, looking for Tyus. Tyus is covered. Hickman gets a shot up. And Tyus picked up that shot in the air, tried to put it in, but missed.
That was a high percentage shot. I think that Alex Tyus should have come down on the floor with the ball.
Sergio Rodriguez to the rim, gets it to Felipe Reyes. Shot blocked by Alex Tyus. Ball ahead to Hickman. Rudy Fernandez can't block it. Hickman has Maccabi ahead. Making lead change number 9 in the third quarter as Ricky Hickman has picked up his game with 7 points in this quarter.
And look at that, Frank. Immediately Maccabi's got a chance, they run.
Sergio Rodriguez goes around Panini to the hole. He takes the lead back, and he's fouled. He'll go to the free throw line with 25 seconds left in the third quarter. And what a ball game. Lead change number 10 in the third quarter alone. Sergio Rodriguez, the MVP, with the layup. And there you see the push by Guy Panini with a chance for a three-point play by Sergio Rodriguez.
Incredible pace of the game, Frank. You cannot relax for 1 single second. You score a fast break, immediately there's somebody coming down at you.
Another perfect free throw. Make it 18 perfect free throws on this game between these two teams. And Real Madrid ahead 2 points with 25 seconds left. But look who comes in the game. David Blue, who finished the first half with a three-pointer practically on the buzzer. Tyrese Rice getting some zone pressure from Real Madrid. He gets the ball to Devin Smith. It'll be Rice and Hickman out top for Maccabi. Game clock and the shot clock practically the same. Panini, you shoot the three. Rice goes to the basket, misses his shot on the defense by Marcus Slaughter. 1 second left. The shot long by Sergio Rodriguez, and that is the way the third quarter will end in Milan, Italy at the Turkish Airlines Final Four. The same 2-point difference we had at halftime is the same 2-point difference we have now, 55-53 in favor of Real Madrid after 10 lead changes in the third quarter. All you can say, George Zidek, is don't move during this fourth quarter because we have as hot a game as you can want in the final.
Absolutely, Frank. I think that you don't dare to make any predictions. Frank, look at the stats that are popping up on the screen right now. Maccabi is up 2 rebounds.
Come back and join us for the fourth quarter. It's going to be a great one.
Turkish Airlines, Spalding, Intersport, official global sponsors of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
10 minutes to glory, 10 minutes to the raising of a Turkish Airlines EuroLeague trophy. That's your overtime notwithstanding, but we'll see a little bit here why Maccabi is so close. Ricky Hickman only had 2 points in the first half, picked up his game here in the third quarter. First he hit a three-pointer, got his game going, did some rebounding as well, and Hickman kept up with a fast break layup and ended up with 7 points in that third quarter. Picked it up tonight. Of course, all EuroLeague second team. Ricky Hickman was not going to disappear for an entire game. And let's remember, he and Tyrese Rice led the first miracle comeback from 12 points down with 2 minutes left against EA7 and Emporio Armani on this floor in the playoffs. And of course, Rice finished. He was part of the comeback on Friday night when they came back from 15 down, 11 minutes to play to beat CSKA in the semifinal.
Oh, he's a huge competitor, Frank, and he can hurt you in many ways. He can drive the ball to the basket, or he can shoot from the outside. And also in this game, he's rebounding. He's got 5 rebounds to go along with the 9 points that he's got for him.
What a calm, focused, and talented backcourt Maccabi has between Ricky Hickman and Tyrese Rice at the end of games. And Maccabi will inbound to Tyrese Rice. He's sitting out top with the ball. Gets it to Alex Tyus. Tyus to Hickman, whose shot is blocked in the corner out of bounds.
Good job there by Tremel Darden. He's got such long arms, and he's always ready to come and help.
Tremel Darden right there, blocks it out of bounds, the three-pointer. 5 blocks by Real Madrid. Maccabi inbounds with 10 seconds on shot clock. Blue gets it, goes inside to Tyus for the slam!
That is a beautiful play because the defense collapsed on David Blue, and he made a nice pass for Alex Tyus who finished it.
We have a tie ball game. Rodriguez to Darden, back to Rodriguez. He's going to take a three-pointer and knock it down. He takes the lead back for Real Madrid, the MVP, answering the dunk by Maccabi.
That is so difficult because he can make the passes, he can involve his teammates, but on top of that, he can knock shots like he just did.
Hickman to the hole, he puts it down as well. Anything you can do, I can do better. Both teams, you are watching your Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Basketball, and this is fantastic. The lead changes, the great plays, the drama and the tension. Sergio Rodriguez from deep misses. Felipe Reyes fights for the rebound. The offensive rebound, and it'll be a jump ball. Let's see who he has to jump with.
4 players on the floor. I mean, everybody is just giving their best.
This is life or death for these guys. As you see right there, Felipe Reyes all over that ball. Alex Tyus on the floor first. Felipe takes it back, so they will jump center. For a jump ball to see who gains this important possession. Alex Tyus, of course, has the advantage. He's a leaper. And he does indeed get the jump ball into Maccabi's hands, down 1. Ricky Hickman makes his move, tries to go to Alex Tyus.
He is so aggressive. I mean, he just got a lot of self-belief. He just got his shot blocked by Tremel Darden, but immediately he comes back with the drive.
What a great first step by Ricky Hickman and Tyrese Rice. But it seems like they save a little for the fourth quarters because maybe it's as the defenders get more tired.
Hey, like David Blatt said, they don't want to go fishing, Frank.
Devin Smith inbounds Alex Tyus, hands off to Hickman. Ball will be in his hands, and Tyrese Rice for 3. Goes in over the front of the rim. Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv ahead. We've got 8 minutes and 25 seconds of electricity coming your way. Sergio Rodriguez on the wing. He steps back and takes a 3. That one misses. Rebound loose. Fought for. Tyrese Rice comes up with it. He spins in the paint. His pass goes out of bounds, however.
He got out of control. I mean, he just dribbled the length of the court. He crossed over twice. He spun about 3 times and just could not complete the pass. That was the 3-pointer that just rolled in there for Tyrese Rice. So I can understand that he's feeling hyped.
He's pretty jacked up after that one rolled in. He deserves maybe one mistake. Doesn't make too many in the fourth quarter, but he got his team ahead. Look at this game, John. George, they're playing fantastic basketball, just 5 and 7 turnovers respectively here in the middle of the fourth quarter. And a fourth foul called an offensive foul. Rice draws it on Marcus Slaughter, who couldn't take advantage of the mismatch. He got called for an offensive foul. There you see, he threw his elbow around Tyrese Rice's head. Here it is again, and that is an offensive foul.
You cannot do that.
On Marcus Slaughter. And a turnover.
The referees are looking for that. If you extend the forearm or the elbow, they immediately calling it.
Fourth foul on Slaughter. Hickman, shadowed by Darden, gets the mismatch on Mirotic, drives on him. He goes to the basket, in and out. The layup attempt by Hickman, and the foul committed on the rebound by Devin Smith against Nikola Mirotic.
I don't know if you agree with me, Frank, but I think that over the last 3-4 minutes, Maccabi is finding it easier to drive to the basket. They are not being challenged by the big man.
Absolutely. That's why I was wondering if the defenders for Real Madrid later in the game are getting a little tired, or it just seems that Tyrese Rice and Ricky Hickman turn on the juice of their first step in the fourth quarter. We've seen it several times. It's Sergio Rodriguez going around the screen, getting to the rim, missing the shot. The rebound is loose. He gets his own rebound. Every rebound is being fought for by 6 or 7 players. Sergio Rodriguez guarded by David Blue. Slips, keeps the dribble, gets in the lane. Hands off to Mirotic. And the foul on the catch by Alex Tyus. There will not be shots.
But what a competitiveness there by Sergio Rodriguez. I mean, he goes down, he gets up. These 3 players made an incredible pass to Nikola Mirotic. Incredible what he's doing there.
And Alex Tyus called for the foul, but it will not be a shooting foul. He goes off the court. Sophocles Tsitsipas comes back in. Only the second foul on Tyus. So Sofo's in, trying to get some easy points. They leave Nikola Mirotic open for a 3-pointer on 2 passes only. And Madrid takes a lead back mistake by Maccabi.
That is gutsy though to take the 3-pointer for Nikola Mirotic.
He had his share in the first game. Ball goes right inside the big Sofo. He kicks out the Blue for 3. He answers from the other end. We just keep going on, lead change after lead change.
And Pablo Lasso just cannot believe it because David Blue was left open by Nikola Mirotic. You just don't help. You cannot help of David Blue.
So 2 mistakes leading to 2 3-pointers. Sofo almost steals it from Sergio Rodriguez. The ball is on the side court and Ricky Hickman comes up with it. He goes ahead to David Smith. Off the mark with his 3-pointer. That would have brought down the house.
Unbelievable, Frank. I think that 3/4 of the audience here in the arena are just standing up. Everybody's in awe. The pace and the tempo, the drama, the way the players are just all over the court is incredible. The energy.
There you see, Madrid has the ball back. It'll be Mirotic driving, dishing off to Barusis. Barusic gets it back, swings it to Sergio Yui back in the game. Inside to Barusis, he goes to the hole to Mirotic. The layup misses, and the rebound is taken by Mirotic, and a hustle play by Sophocles Tsitsipas will send him out of the ball game with a foul. So
he sacrificed that 5th foul. Look at that, it was a miss by Mirotic. Sofo tried to recover, and I mean, he just took everybody down with himself. You gotta give it to him, Frank. I mean, he hustled on that play. This was an aggressive play, and he fouled on it. You don't care, but the 4th foul when he fouled Rudy Fernandez, that was not the same play.
It's every man for himself.
So that means
Great team basketball, but when the ball goes up on these rebounds, it's war out there. Every one of the last rebounds almost has seen 4 or 5 players touch the ball before it's been rebounded. Madrid down by 2. Mirotic goes baseline. He draws another foul on Tyus. That'll be number 3 on him. But the second, personal foul on Alex Tyus. Good foul in that case. Kept Mirotic away from the rim. It'll be the inbounds to Sergio Rodriguez. The pass was tipped, but made it to him in the corner. And another lead change. 14 lead changes in the second half of this final. Real Madrid up 1. Neither team has led by more than 4 since these lead changes started. Tyrese Rice fouled by Sergio Rodriguez. Now we got to double check the foul situation because Sergio Rodriguez, that might be his 4th, George.
And Tyrese Rice is just doing a hell of a job of putting a lot of pressure there on Sergio Rodriguez, and he's out of the game with 4 fouls. Pablo Lasso has to save him there for the last minutes of the game. He's got to protect him at the moment.
Great intensity, still 5 minutes, 27 left to play, but the intensity has to take its toll. We'll see what players are able to keep up this pressure. David Blue from outside off the back of the rim. Rudy Fernandez corrals the rebound.
David Blue was very closely guarded on that shot. He almost didn't have any space.
The trophy waiting on the sidelines to see which of these teams wants it more, but I can tell you they both want it dearly. Fernandez inside to Mirotic, working on David Blue. David Blue gets his arm in there as Mirotic makes his move. So foul on him.
That was an arm check right there. Nikola Mirotic just did a great job of changing the pace when he squared up, put the ball on the floor and drew the foul.
We have a timeout on the floor, and we will come back for free throws by Nikola Mirotic. But first, there's a timeout with Real Madrid leading by 1, 64-63, heading into crucial. Every moment's crucial, even the timeouts now. Let's look at the third quarter, some of what happened there. As Sergio Rodriguez stepped up, the MVP for Real Madrid, as that lead change went back and forth. He got it back from Madrid a couple times. Early in this fourth quarter, Sergio Rodriguez again putting it in from downtown. People wonder how a guy can come off the bench and be MVP, but when you finish the games and don't start them like this guy does, there's plenty of room for an MVP trophy in the closet of Sergio Rodriguez, just like another great player in this Final Four 7 years ago, Theo Papaloukas. He was the first MVP of the EuroLeague who basically did not start any game all season. It's who finishes them, as the coaches say.
And this tells you how deep the teams are. I mean, Real Madrid just brings the MVP off the bench. This is a dream of any coach. Frank, the plans for both teams. I think that Maccabi just really has to watch for the open three-pointers. For Sergio Rodriguez, he cannot be left open. On the other side, Real Madrid has to find a way to keep in check in open court Tyrese Rice. I mean, he's been hurting Real Madrid with drawing so many fouls.
We promised you 40 minutes of drama, and you are seeing it minute by minute here in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game. Real Madrid at the free throw line. Nikola Mirotic, no player on either team has missed a free throw yet tonight. And there's the first one. So that may be a factor before this is all over. You have to be perfect to win this game. He's an 81% free throw shooter, Mirotic. Madrid leads the league in that category. But when both teams are hitting 100, somebody has to miss. It was Mirotic. Key second one goes down for Nikola Mirotic to give Madrid a 2-point lead with 4:55 left. Remember, Maccabi came back on this floor twice in the past month from double-digit deficits in the fourth quarter. Hickman with the ball out top, guarded by Yui. Goes to Rice, 7 on the shot clock. Rice guarded by Fernandez. Step back jumper, 2-pointer by Rice, off the front of the rim and rebounded by Giannis Barousis. Big game by Giannis Barousis for Real Madrid.
I was expecting Tyrese Rice to try to drive and draw the foul instead of settling for a long shot.
8 points and 7 rebounds for Barousis. Rudy Fernandez, cross court to Darden. Darden drives, stops, turns, puts it down. What a move by Tremel Darden.
A beautiful move, just he stopped and completely changed the direction that faked out the whole defense of Maccabi.
4 minutes left, Madrid up by 4. That's the biggest lead they've had in the second half. They have now matched it. Maccabi's answered every call so far. Let's see what they do. It's Ricky Hickman on the wing, crosses over on Mirotic, gets inside, the shot's blocked, he gets it back and puts it down. Heads up play by Ricky Hickman.
Unbelievable the way he stays with the ball. He was among the two big men and he recovered the shot. It was originally blocked.
Down to a 2-point game again. Yui to Fernandez, to Mirotic. Fakes the shot, takes the shot off the backboard, misses, and Devin Smith comes up with the rebound.
Good defense there by David Blue.
Rice, guarded by Darden, gets a screen, gets inside, up and in for Tyrese Rice. We have a tie ball game with 3 minutes left. The trophy waiting on the sidelines. Nobody wants to give an inch in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game.
I mean, when I was going to say that Real Madrid had the momentum on their side, they had the biggest lead of the fourth quarter. I mean, all of a sudden, 2 quick points in a succession, and Maccabi is back, and we're starting over again, Frank. With 3 minutes and 7 seconds, it's a tie ball game.
And you have to look at the foul situation, and you have to think about the possibility of overtime, George, because it's been so close the entire way. There's a flashback to what happened 10 years ago when Maccabi started its run of 2 titles in a row, the incredible miracle in Tel Aviv, the last game in the top 16 to put Maccabi in overtime in this game, which they won against Žalgiris Kaunas, and on to the Final Four, which they won that year and the year after for a back-to-back. Here's the miracle on Friday night in the semifinal. CSKA loses the ball. Tyrese Rice hits the layup, and wins with 6 seconds left the semifinal, coming back from 15 points down with 11 to play. So miracles, there's plenty of them in Maccabi's past. One in 2004, 10 years ago. One this weekend in Milan, one a month ago in Milan. And you know that the majority of fans in this arena wearing yellow believe that there's a third miracle in a month in Milan for Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv.
Let's see, Frank. We got 3 minutes and 7 seconds to find out if it goes only in regulation.
George, we have to say Tyrese Rice going to his left, missed a couple, but that is one of the dangerous people in this game going down the stretch.
Oh, absolutely. He's so quick going to his left.
Rodriguez back in the game. Ball goes in the corner to Mirotic. He drives, gets it to Rudy Fernandez. Fakes, gets open, misses a shot, and Tyrese Rice with the rebound.
That was a good position there for Rudy to shoot the ball. Maccabi was in the zone.
Rice going right to the hoop again. Misses off the further end, but Alex Tyus puts it back. Maccabi's ahead with 2:30 to play.
And this is incredible, the way that Alex Tyus just finds a way to get the ball and slam it home.
15 lead changes in the second half of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game. You could not ask for anything more, but you get 2 minutes and 15 seconds more. Sergio Rodriguez from deep, off the mark. The rebound and the putback by Mirotic. He went over 2 other guys to get that.
Offensive rebounds. Nikola Mirotic stayed with the ball and it just paid off big time. It's a tie game again.
Tie game with 2 minutes left, 69-69. Hickman fakes, gets the ball back from Blue. 9 on the shot clock. Hickman will take it this time. The ball was blocked. David Blue picks it out of the air and puts it down. Maccabi ahead.
That is
69-71.
A little bit of luck, Frank, on that play because it was a clean block. Somehow it gets to David Blue and he puts the 2-pointer home.
Sergio Rodriguez out top. Rudy Fernandez driving to the basket. Gets it to Rodriguez. Gets it to Mirotic. Hesitates. 5 on the shot clock. Stops. Pops. The shot off the rim into the hands of Alex Tyus. Maccabi ahead with possession and 1:15 left to play.
Incredible. This is all about devotion. Maccabi defense is just playing with all the heart they have.
1 minute to go. Tyrese Rice, the hero from Friday, drives right this time.
Whoa!
Makes the shot despite the touch by Yui. He has Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv ahead by 4, 69-73 in the final minute
Frank, look
of
at
the
that.
championship game.
That is unbelievable. It's a right-handed floater in the lane. He was off balance. What a difficult shot that was to complete. Incredible tournament. Incredible playoff by Tyrese Rice.
Tyrese Rice, what a story. Came into this league very late in the preseason. For Maccabi, has built his game over the course of the season. Became one of the heroes when they won the first miracle in Milan during the playoffs. Game 1 was the hero in the semifinal on Friday against CSKA Moscow, hitting the game-winning shot. And here he is in the fourth quarter, putting Maccabi ahead by 4 with under a minute to go. Unbelievable. Let's face it, George, Maccabi was not the favorite in this game. Madrid has dominated much of the season in the EuroLeague and beat Barcelona by 38 points on Friday. But here we are with Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv having come back after 15 lead changes in the second half to lead by 4 going into the final minute. That said, George, if there's one team that can make up 4 points in a quick amount of time, it is Real Madrid. They will have the possession.
Absolutely, Frank. Let's see what happens. We still got 58 seconds to play. Let's not get overly excited if you're Maccabi fans.
First rebound, first lead of more than 3 points since the first quarter by Maccabi. Sergio Rodriguez driving on Tyrese Rice, who gets called for the foul. And there you see the arm come in under Rodriguez's arm. The third foul on Tyrese Rice puts Sergio Rodriguez at the free throw line, where he's only had 2 so far tonight and hit both of them. Remember, there's only been 1 missed free throw in this game, and that was a couple minutes ago by Nikola Mirotic.
Small.
89% free throw shooter, Sergio Rodriguez. Like drinking water, he just stepped up and knocked it down.
No hesitation on the free throw.
Gets Madrid within 3. Very relaxed on the first free throw, Sergio Rodriguez. Let's see how he does on the second one. Perfect as well. And it is a 2-point ball game, 55 seconds left. George, can you ask for anything more?
Absolutely not, Frank.
In a basketball game.
In a championship game, any game, this is incredible drama. Sergio Rodriguez goes to the bench and Tremel Darden comes in for the defensive purposes, I believe.
Tyrese Rice bringing the ball up court, played by Sergio Yui. As you said, Darden in the game. Foul committed by Sergio Yui, but Maccabi will not go to the free throw line yet. They have to take the ball out on the sideline with 45 seconds left and a 2-point lead, 14 on the shot clock. It has been as thrilling as you can want in any basketball game, but with the trophy standing by, you have to give credit to both these teams. 45 seconds before the fourth quarter ends, at the very least, for what they've done out here on the floor and all season long out here on the floor tonight.
I mean, both teams deserve to win the championship game, but there's going to be only one that's going to lift the trophy, Frank. That's the sad truth.
And before that inbounds by Maccabi, they decide to take a timeout. Coach David Blatt wants to talk it over. Could be the key possession. Remember, it was under 20 seconds left. It was 20 seconds left on Friday, but Maccabi was still losing by 4 to CSKA Moscow. They had possession, came out of a timeout like this, got a 3-pointer by David Blue. There was another timeout with about 9 seconds left when CSKA took the ball out. They committed a turnover and Tyrese Rice won the game. So the precedent for either team coming back even much closer to the finish than this has already been set by Maccabi to start this Final Four. I would not be surprised to see an ending just as dramatic.
I have to agree, Frank, and this is coming to the smallest details in the basketball game. Let's see how Maccabi can execute after the timeout what David Blatt was throwing up on the board.
He's had a couple baskets out of timeouts. Madrid has had one as well. Rice will inbound. Gets it into Hickman. Expect the ball in the hands of Rice and Hickman for Maccabi. 10 on the shot clock. Ball tipped away by Darden. Hickman driving on Barousas. Barousas has position. Hickman goes around and misses. Rudy Fernandez with the rebound. 30 seconds left. Madrid down 2. Rudy Fernandez driving inside. Throws it up. Barousas with the rebound inside. Can't get it to go down, but he's fouled going back up. So it'll be Giannis Barousas going to the free throw line with 21.4 seconds to play with a chance to tie the final.
But on both sides, he's been huge because he was able to move his feet and did not commit a foul on the drive by Smith. On the other side, he just waited, got the offensive rebound, and now he's got 2 shots from the free throw line.
And with a perfect fake, got to the free throw line, didn't shuffle his feet as you see. Everybody standing, everybody on pins and needles in Milan, Italy, and around the world. Giannis Barousas. First free throw goes down by Giannis Barousas.
Ice cold, Frank. I mean,
An 80% free throw shooter has a chance to tie it with 21.4 seconds to play.
you said it so many times, Real Madrid is a great free throw shooting club.
Barousas for the tie. Knocks it in. Giannis Barousas has tied the ball game. Maccabi ball. Tyrese Rice guarded by Marcus Slaughter. A surprise defensive move here in the last 20 seconds of the game. Marcus Slaughter on Tyrese Rice. 9 seconds. Double team comes. Hickman gets the ball, drives baseline, goes back to Rice. He's going to shoot it with a chance to win the ball game. Doesn't get it. Ball off the rim and out of bounds. And we will go to overtime in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game. What a tribute to both of these teams. Maccabi with a chance to win it. Great defense by Real Madrid. They deserve another another 5 minutes to decide who wins the title, and I think the fans are going to love it.
That's what I was going to say, Frank. We do deserve to see another 5 games of an incredible showdown like we have seen. You said it's the 50th time that they have met together, and it's an incredible game from the beginning till the end. Both teams are not giving up, and it's a drama. It's an incredible drama.
What a testimony to the tradition and that these two teams have, and what heart they put on the floor over the decades. Their first game was in 1968. As you said, George, they played 50th one tonight, and they made the 50th one honor the tradition that both of these clubs have, some of the deepest tradition in the world of basketball.
A very special game, Frank, but if you go back to strategy and we speak about the last position, I think that I was expecting Maccabi to take a chance on the drive. I don't know if you agree with me, but I would try to draw it foul.
I haven't seen it so much this season, but last season, Marcus Slaughter has appeared in those situations to guard a point guard. He's a center, he guards a point guard, but his feet are so quick. He came out with 4 fouls. I think he surprised Maccabi. Rudy came over and added some double team.
And also Jamel Darden, they put him on the ball because of his ability to move his feet and his long arms.
And the long arms of Slaughter and Darden, as we see Darden come out here for the third for overtime. We are ready for tip-off in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game. It is a tie ball game, 73-73. Could not ask for anything more. Get your breath, because we got 5 more minutes of thrills, as we've seen all night tonight, ready for you. Remember, Sofoklis Shortanitas out of the game. The tip won by Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv.
I think that Giannis Borussia just jumped too early, and the referees give the ball to Maccabi.
Let's look at the foul situation. George Zidek, 4 on Sergio Rodriguez for Real Madrid as Maccabi takes the ball in. He's not on the floor. It's Sergio Yui. Devin Smith guarded by Rudy Fernandez, gets it to Hickman, guarded by Darden. And Hickman gets a shot blocked by Borussia. He got a piece of it. Darden with the rebound. Madrid comes the other way. And David Blue commits a foul in the paint.
And I'll tell you what, Giannis Borussia is just doing a phenomenal job defensively, Frank, knocking down the 2 free throws on the offensive end to send the
Here's a guy who's been in the EuroLeague since the early 2000s. About 2002 was his first season, if not 2001. He's been waiting a long time for this opportunity. Had a couple chances with Olympiacos before Olympiacos won 2 in a row. And he's once again his. Nikola Mirotic puts Real Madrid ahead in overtime of the championship game. You've got to look at Sofoklis Shortanitas on the Maccabi bench. He fouled out in the 4th quarter. And Mirotic at the free throw line hits another one. Unbelievable free throw shooting in this game. He had the only miss earlier, but together these teams are 23 out of 24. This is the first overtime game in EuroLeague history. Rice from downtown puts Maccabi back in front.
The shot that he missed at the end of regulation, he ices it this time. So in lead for Maccabi, 76-75.
17 lead changes since halftime. Borussia goes the pass out of bounds, but he was fouled on the pass, and that's why it sailed out of bounds. So the foul is on David Blue. It looks like his 3rd foul. Let's double check it for you. But the 3-pointer by Tyrese Rice gives us the 17th lead change since halftime. A final for the history books, the first one in overtime ever in the EuroLeague. And Borussia as well hits his free throw, another tie. It's been nothing but ties and lead changes for about the past 20 minutes, George.
It is incredible the way both of these teams just keep fighting. Nobody ever gives up.
Barousas knocks it down. He has Madrid back in front. And we see Marcus Slaughter come back on the floor. Tyrese Rice across half court. He goes to the rim, doesn't get the shot to fall this time, but he will go to the free throw line. How many times can this guy do it, George?
And look at that, Frank. I mean, this is clearly go-to guy for Maccabi right now. I mean, they just clear out for him, and he takes the players of Madrid, regardless who's guarding him, to the basket, draws fouls, he's making shots. Unbelievable. Tyrese Rice is playing a heck of a championship game.
Fantastic story. A single father who has had his son with him, living with him in Europe throughout his European career, up to 6 or 7 seasons now. He says the first thing he does when he starts talking with a new team is talk about his son. Then he talks about taking care of his son wherever he wants to play. Then he talks about himself.
That speaks volume about his character. He's a warrior.
I saw them. I was with them this morning playing in a hotel. Great father-son relationship. But for him to be doing it as a single father is something special. He's already a hero. These Maccabi fans, but he's a hero to his son first. He hits both free throws, make it 19 lead changes and 5 ties in the last 20 minutes. We're in the first overtime in EuroLeague history. Maccabi up 77-78. Sergio Yui with the ball for Real Madrid. Inside to Nikola Mirotic, all the starters in the game for Madrid. The matchup zone that gets a turnover for Maccabi. Their zone has worked wonders, and it did right there.
But I think that if Real Madrid gets caught up in a one-on-one situation and it's taking too long, it always ends up in a bad situation.
Rice again from deep, and he hits it again. Tyrese Rice. What can you say? He has Maccabi up 4 in overtime. Still 3:20 to play.
Incredible performance, an MVP performance of a tournament. That's all I can say about that.
The matchup zone is in place, but the foul is called on Devin Smith. Give him 4 now. Maccabi has committed 4 more fouls. Of course, they have Sophocles Tsoutsanidis already out of the game. Nikola Mirotic, who is 3 for 4 from the free throw line, goes back. Gets the first one again. Madrid within 3, plenty of time here in overtime. 1 away to end the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague season. Mirotic has Madrid within 2.
Devin Smith is going to go.
Devin Smith will take a seat, and Yogevo Hayon come in the game for Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv.
That's a smart move by David Blatt. He's going to protect him at least offensively, give him a breather. They need him defensively. He's a big body who can really change some shots.
Rice has 8 points in overtime. He's got the ball. It's guarded by Darden. Lob to Tyus for the slam. Nobody home. Taking advantage of Rice's three-pointer. What a play by Tyrese Rice and Alex Tyus. Tyus has 10 points. Maccabi's lead back to 4.
Incredible, Frank. He either scores or sets up his teammates.
Rudy from deep. Off the mark. Tyus with the rebound. And Maccabi with a 4-point lead and possession with 2:30 to play.
They're not going to rush it anywhere. They're going to milk down the clock.
Jamel Darden fouls Tyrese Rice. He'll go to the free throw line. Nobody on Maccabi has missed a free throw in this game. And there you see the incredible Doug. Tyus has 11 rebounds and 10 points. I remind you, when he played Madrid the last time in Tel Aviv, 18 points, 11 rebounds without a 2-point miss, 9 for 9 on 2-pointers.
I remember that game.
He had at the end, he missed a free throw that allowed Madrid to win the game. You know he's inspired to make up for that loss, but his fans would thank him if he does anything like this to get a win tonight.
Frank, show me one person in Maccabi jersey that is not inspired. You see the whole team, the benches, the coaches, everybody. This is just a complete team effort. We spoke about it in the pregame.
Both teams, George, you can't say enough about what they put on the floor tonight. The biggest lead since the first quarter for Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv, as Tyrese Rice goes up to 21 points. Perfect from the free throw line. We see Sergio Rodriguez back in the game for Real Madrid. He has the ball across half court. 2:20 to play. His team down 6. Mirotic from deep misses. Maccabi is only under the boards, seeming to surprise his teammates with a quick shot. But Maccabi is in control. It would be a huge upset. Them being here was considered an upset by some people, but winning it all, as they are close to doing. Tyrese Rice gets a shot block, gets it back, kicks all the way out to half court to Hickman, running one-handed by Hickman. Rolls around and out. What drama on that shot. That might have been the killer, but instead Madrid has another chance. Sergio Rodriguez dribbling around the lane on his knees. Hickman seals it from Rudy Fernandez. Fast break, layup, a foul by Sergio Yui, and Ricky Hickman going to the free throw line, where Maccabi's been perfect all night.
Look at that right here, Frank. I mean, they rolled around like 5 times before the ball got out of the rim.
Hickman had no luck on that, but he ended up with a steal, and he's going back to the free throw line with his team ahead, 79 to 85. I must say, David Blatt must have was said at halftime, if the game goes over 70 points, he thought they couldn't win. This is the tie for the biggest lead by Maccabi right now, so if Smith makes either of these free throws, they have their biggest lead of the game with just 1:31 to play. Remember, Madrid is capable of making up 6 or 7 or possibly 8 points as quick as any team ever. But also, I was talking to David Blatt this morning in the hotel as Ricky Hickman misses the first free throw, first one tonight for Maccabi, and he said, if we're close at the end, the pressure turns to Real Madrid. We may be seeing a little of that here in overtime. But Madrid came back from 4 down to tie it in the last minute.
And I think that David Blatt also did a hell of a job of putting the pressure on Real and being the favorite in the game. He always kept saying, we are the underdogs, Frank. You have heard it so many times from him.
Felipe Reyes in the game for Real Madrid as Hickman makes it a 7-point lead. That's the biggest for Maccabi. The sharpshooter J.C. Carroll in the game as well for Real Madrid. It's Rodriguez, Garden, Reyes, Carroll, and Rodriguez. Rodriguez gets inside, blocked by Alex Tyus. And a foul on Tyrese Rice. Maccabi Electra is looking mighty close to bringing the title back to Tel Aviv.
It looks like it, Frank, and we spoke about Maccabi being undersized, but is Alex Tyus playing as an undersized setter? I mean, he is everywhere, Frank. I mean, the quickness that he moves in the key, and he can come from one side to another and block the shot, it is incredible.
Maccabi Electra has 4 undisputed titles in their history. They have another one that they won in the EuroLeague when there were 2 leagues in Europe in 2001, the EuroLeague and the EuroLeague. The EuroLeague was won by Maccabi. So they will count this as their sixth victory in the Continental Final Four Championship if they can hold on. Tyrese Rice, the hero in this 4th quarter, makes it an 8-point lead, and he has another free throw. An incredible story. Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv putting the heart on the floor, and with a 9-point lead and 1:16 to play against Real Madrid. Sergio Rodriguez across half court. Rodriguez from deep, knocks it down. They're not going away. There's plenty of time for Madrid. They cut it to 6, and the steal will not count as a steal, as Borussia fouled Tyus. Must have been on instructions to foul if there was no steal on the inbounds.
Yep.
Put Alex Tyus on the free throw line. Maybe the instructions were precisely to foul Alex Tyus, who's not one of the better free throw shooters on Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv. Alex Tyus just 52% for the season, so Borussis was probably following instructions there.
That was a smart play by
Didn't
Borussis.
see that the pass, that's why Tyus was passing so immediately as well and almost got it stolen.
Absolutely.
He knows he's not supposed to keep the ball too long and get fouled, but
You see right here, Frank, he was getting rid of that ball very quickly.
But he makes his first free throw, Alex Tyus.
That's the big one. You have to make the first one.
That's what that makes it a 3-possession game.
Yep.
Right here with 1:08 to play. Tyus misses the second. David Blue steals the rebound from two Madrid defenders, and Tyus is once again fouled and sent back to the free throw line, but that is by Sergio Rodriguez, so the MVP has to commit his 5th foul, and he will leave the floor for Real Madrid.
That was the same situation when Alex Tyus got the ball, but just he could not get rid of it fast enough. So again, 2 free throws for Alex Tyus. That's it, if he can compose. Still 1 minute to go,
3
Frank.
seconds to play. Real Madrid down 7. Maccabi's Alex Tyus going to the free throw line. First overtime game in Turkish Airlines EuroLeague finals history. And Alex Tyus does it again. 11 rebounds to go with 11 points. Make it 12 on that free throw. He misses the second one. This time the rebound is to Felipe Reyes. Sergio Yui in transition to J.C. Carroll. Running one-hander, misses. Carroll, ball goes out of bounds on Carroll. And Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv looking very much like the wave of yellow that came into Milan to see this. Final Four will return to Tel Aviv on a wave of joy with the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague trophy, unless the miracle comes from Real Madrid this time. And let's say a word about Real Madrid, John. So George, they have been on a mission all the season. Last year they were up 17 in the final in the first quarter and lost to Olympiacos. This time they're up 11 in the second quarter. And it looks like they're about to lose to Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv. But before they go, disappointed as they may be, you have got to thank this team for the spectacular, entertaining, and winning basketball they've given fans all over Europe throughout this season.
Absolutely, they play such a beautiful basketball, up-tempo, full of scoring, full of assists, passing. Just a beauty to watch. Unfortunately, they just met this Maccabi team, Frank, that I can only say it's a team of destiny. I got no other term for that.
Team of destiny. 10 years after they won their first of the century in Tel Aviv in miraculous fashion. They come back, they come to Milan 3 times in 1 month and pull off 3 miracle victories. This one they took control of in overtime. May not be as miraculous, but it's certainly as honorable. Ball knocked out of bounds by Ricky Hickman, but it's a 10-point lead with 44 seconds left to play. And of course, Maccabi patrolling the perimeter, so none of the 3-point shooters on Real Madrid can have a chance. Ball to J.C. Carroll. He makes a 2-pointer. Hickman, Maccabi gets the ball in bounds, and Hickman is fouled. So Hickman will go to the free throw line where he is among the best.
This is all about free throw shooting. If Maccabi can keep hitting the free throws, it's an 8-point lead with 36 seconds to go. It's all about nerves.
74% for him on the season for Ricky Hickman. 1 will do. Not enough time left for Madrid to withstand many more. Hickman gets the roll on that one. He didn't get it on his shot earlier in overtime, but he didn't need it either because he and his teammates have ridden a wave. They're starting to celebrate. Tyrese Rice as Hickman makes it a 10-point lead in overtime. It's going to be Maccabi Electra coming back 3 years after losing their last final, and with 28 seconds left, anything short of a miracle, taking their first title since 2005 in Moscow after playing in 2 finals in between, 2008 in Madrid and 2011 in Barcelona. You might think Milan is going to have a place in the heart of Maccabi fans. There might be some extra tourism here for a long time based on tourism for Maccabi fans, based on what happened in the last month here for Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv.
What an incredible 3 wins here for Maccabi, assuming that nothing miraculous happened, as you just said.
George, I remember coming into the Final Four asking if the miracle of the playoff and them having won here in the playoffs so miraculously was a boost for Maccabi. To the players, the coaches, they all like talked it off like we can't expect it. We can't expect anything like that again. Here they win, coming from 15 down, 11 minutes left with 6 seconds to play in the semifinal. And here they go in overtime, taking it from Real Madrid with 19.9 seconds left, on their way to the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague title. Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv with a fascinating display of heart in this Final Four. I don't think George and our winning coach, David Blatt, said it, that if this game goes up in the 70s and 80s, we can't win. He said at halftime of this game.
He did.
His own team is playing an 86 to 90-point game, 96-point game right now, and winning against Real Madrid. They can score 2, Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv, especially when you have Tyrese Rice on the floor in the 4th quarter.
Absolutely, Frank. I have to agree with everything that you said, but the best quote that I had is by David Blatt. We are humble, hungry, and we recognize our limitations.
23 points in overtime. This is going to finish up with a steal by Yogev Ohayon. He's going to slam it, make it an 86-98 victory, and a new Turkish Airlines EuroLeague title for Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv in overtime in spectacular fashion. 25 points in overtime to beat Real Madrid in an incredible, I call it an upset, you call it what you want, but it's a lot of great basketball and history and heart put on the floor tonight by the new 2014 EuroLeague champion, Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv. Watch them celebrate, they deserve it, winning in overtime against Real Madrid.
Incredible game, incredible story for the season of Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv, Frank. I cannot say enough. I mean, the way it started against the home team of Milan, they didn't have the home court advantage, managed to pull out a victory, get to the Final Four. What they showed on Friday was just incredible show of self-belief, self-confidence, and just never giving up, and then just transferred it to today.
Turkish Airlines, 7 days, bwin, Endesa, official global sponsors in association with the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
3 miracles in Milan in the last month. This one is the one it all led to. Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv winning its 6th Continental Trophy, the first since 2005, with an incredible display. Tyrese Rice, 26 points off the bench, 9 for 9 from the free throw line, just taking over in the 4th quarter. And there you see a consolatory hug for Pablo Lasso, the head coach of Real Madrid. Give him credit for playing the way his team has played all season. And a shame for them to lose in overtime, but between 2 great teams, only one can win. And tonight it was Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv, 18 points from Ricky Hickman, 15 from Devin Smith, 14 from David Blue. Alex Tyus with 12 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 blocks off the bench. They put it all together tonight. Real Madrid, there's Sophocles Tsatsianidis everybody on this team except for David Blue is winning their first Turkish Airlines EuroLeague title. David Blue did it 10 years ago with the Miracle in Tel Aviv. He's getting his 10 years later. We have to mention David Blue took a year off. He wasn't sure if he was going to retire or just think about coming back. I was in Tel Aviv before the season when they announced that David Blue was coming back. You can feel a surge of energy even in the preseason on that team. They wanted a veteran to help them. A lot of new guys learn their way through this season, and he has done just that. His 5 3-pointers in the semifinal helped get them here, of course, and he's carried them. He's winning his second, but everybody else on Maccabi winning their first, including the first time as a head coach, David Blatt. We have 2 David B's celebrating out there, David Blue and David Blatt, and they were together when David Blatt was the assistant on Maccabi. He brought David Blue to Maccabi back in 2002, and they have now won it together with David Blatt on the bench and David Blue making a big contribution here in Final Four weekend in Milan. You can't say enough about what Maccabi, its fans, its team, and its organization have done to make this not only a successful Final Four for them, but a great celebration of basketball in and around the streets of Milan and in the Mediolanum Forum throughout this Final Four weekend.
And look at Big Sofo, he's just carrying Tyrese Rice on his back, Frank. I mean, what a performance by Tyrese Rice. The way he developed through the season, it is just remarkable.
Okay, we're going to try to see if Johnny Rogers has some interviews on court with the champions. Let's look right now, see if we can talk to somebody on Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv.
We're with the president right now, Frank and George.
It looks like Johnny will be talking to Shimon Mizrahi, the president of Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv.
We're with the president of Maccabi Tel Aviv. Could you please tell us what's going through your mind right now? How does it feel to be champions again of EuroLeague?
It's a great feeling. You are working for that title 10 months, starting 24 points for a long road. Everyone wants to reach this stand of Final Four and to win the cup, but only 4 teams are coming to the Final Four and 1 team win the cup. And this year we are the lucky ones.
You had such a difficult road just to get here to the Final Four. It was a remarkable performance just to get to Milan. When did you think it was actually possible to be champions? When did you believe in your heart?
After we won the best of 5, the playoffs game, although we didn't have the home advantage and we won Milan, we thought that we are going on the right way.
You guys did a great job against Milan to earn the berth here. What can you tell us about your fans? They filled this arena. What can you tell us about the Maccabi fans?
Those fans are going with us wherever we go. There are more than 10,000 here. Imagine if Maccabi will not be here, and they gave us all the support, all the strength, and I really thank them for that.
Congratulations, President.
Thank you.
There we heard from Shimon Mizrahi, the president of Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv, with the club since 1969, I believe, but certainly the late 1960s, maybe earlier. And he, of course, is a moving force in what we saw tonight, a team of great tradition, a team of great history, and a team of great pride, winning the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four by an 86-98 score over Real Madrid in the 50th meeting between these 2 teams. We will now talk to Tyrese Rice, the hero of the semifinal and this final. I'm sorry, Alex Tyus of Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv.
Yes, we're with Alex Tyus. How do you feel right now being champion of the EuroLeague?
I don't even know. I'm trying to soak it in right now. This is amazing. So much hard work all season. Nobody believed in us earlier in the year. We just kept working hard, and we just stayed focused on the task, and we made it it happen, and it's unbelievable right now.
When did you think it was actually possible? When did you guys were underdogs even to make it to the Final Four in Milan? When did you think it was actually possible to be the champions?
In the Milano series, after the game one, how we fought, showing a level of resiliency by coming back 12 points with like a minute and a half. We knew we had fight in us, and we just, kept that throughout the rest of the EuroLeague, and obviously in the Final Four, being a huge underdogs against CSKA and Real, and I think that just helped us a lot to get the win.
We enjoyed so many incredible, spectacular plays from you this year. You're playing underneath the basket. You've got a height disadvantage, but you're getting up quick. How was it going against the experienced Real Madrid big men, especially Felipe Reyes, Giannis Broussais?
Yeah, it's tough. Those guys, they're big and they're very talented, and they're experienced as well. And our guys, we just, play with a hunger. We want to be known. We want to get our names out there. We want to let people know how good we are, and that will never go away. And we just continue to fight, play with heart, and it's going to get us the win.
You guys are champions of the EuroLeague. Nobody can take that away from you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There we heard from Alex Tyus, one of the new champions with Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv, and you can't say enough about what he did in this game alone. 12 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 blocks. But remember, he was the April MVP in the EuroLeague when they stormed into the playoffs and then won the first game here in Milan to turn around that playoff series that he talked about just now. He said that was the moment when he thought that they could do something special at the Final Four.
I mean, it was a huge boost, Frank. It was a playoff series, and they did not have a home court advantage, and they managed to win, especially after they won in an incredible fashion in the game one. Once you get to the Final Four, anything is open.
But I don't think they believed it till that time because they didn't know they had that comeback capability. Once they knew they had that, they had played, as David Blatt has reminded us this week, except for the one 30-point loss in Moscow to CSKA when they were missing 3 players. They played the closest games the whole season in the EuroLeague.
That's true.
And they may have had the worst record coming in of the Final Four teams at 19-9, but they were in every single game but one the entire season.
That's exactly true, and they showed a lot about the pride and the style of Maccabi play.
And that matched with the comeback discovery made in Milan, made them much more confident coming into the Final Four, came back in the semifinal. We will take a look at the trophy ceremony. First, with a round of applause, they're giving to Real Madrid captain Felipe Reyes as he receives the runner-up trophy for a spectacular season for his team. You got to feel for this man in particular and his team. He's the veteran, the longest one with Real Madrid.
Who is the MVP?
And now we wait for the MVP announcement. Lots of possibilities. Tyrese Rice, 26 points. Let's see who it is.
The bwin MVP is Tyrese Rice.
And that is exactly who it is. Tyrese Rice, the hero of the semifinal, the hero of the final, receiving the MVP award with his young son hugging him by the waist. He receives it from EuroLeague legend Rudy Fernandez, and we talked about him being a single father, Tyrese Rice. There he is with his son, sharing this great moment with the little man.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
Getting his MVP picture taken. He talked to me in the preseason about what a joy it is to be raising his son during his basketball career in Europe, and how he comes home every night with the help of his clubs around Europe, knowing his son is being brought up and being taken care of, even though he's pursuing his career. And you see how he has taken that career to the biggest moment any player in Europe could hope for, MVP of the Final Four. Now, Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv, with other players with their children on the floor, being Sofa Glacier, Adidas. You got to feel happy for Brig Sofo, don't you, George?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he made the most out of the minutes that he played.
Ricky Hickman, all EuroLeague second team. Great game tonight. Ricky Hickman with 18 points, the second leading scorer, first to get his trophy. Alex Tyus, as we already mentioned, he goes up second on the podium. Of course, the trophy. Sophocles Yoshanitis gets his as well. One of the younger players, Yegemo Hayon. He joined Maccabi the year after their last final, the MVP, Tyrese Rice. Joe Ingles, David Blue with his second one. 2004, 10 years later. I mentioned that to him yesterday. He said, I didn't even add it up. 10 years, that could be destiny. David Blue with his second, the only one. Look at Sophocles. And there's David Blatt, George Zidek. What can you say about what a coach this man is?
And a technician also, Frank. I mean, he just played off. He deflected all the possible pressure that his team could have gotten under. So David Blatt is just not only a basketball coach. He's a great philosopher. He takes it into a completely different dimension.
And there you see the team officials and assistant coaches getting their trophies. Look at Nikola Mirotic. He was part of the back-to-back titles in 2004 and 2005 by Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv. He's waiting in line right there for his. And they are up on the podium here at Mediolana Forum in Milan. Maybe the team least expected to be there is about to raise the trophy as the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague champion. The president and CEO of EuroLeague Basketball, Jordi Bertomeu, will hand it over to a pair of captains, Guy Panini and David Blue, getting the fans on their feet as if they had to. You hear them, and the trophy goes to Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv, the new champions of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague. They won it in exciting overtime fashion, the first team to do so, and they deserve it as they celebrate on the floor in Milan, Italy, and present it to their incredible fans who have filled this stadium, just waiting for this moment. George Zidek.
What can you say about the Maccabi fans? I think they are a great part of EuroLeague basketball, of European basketball. We said it, they painted the city of Milan yellow. They have given an incredible power and a boost to their team, Frank. They really can be counted as a sixth man. This is a definition of a sixth man.
You have to wonder, George, how many points this crowd was worth in an overtime game that was, tied obviously at the end of regulation time, where it was one. We already saw 18 lead changes in the second half. When you have a crowd like this behind you, as a player, you can tell us that means a lot.
But also think about the semifinal thing, when they were down 12 points with 11 minutes to go, and the crowd just never gave up. They just kept standing behind them, and they kept pushing them.
It's almost getting like you don't want to lead in the final in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four. We had 2 years ago, 19-point comeback in 11 minutes by Olympiacos. Last year, they came back from 17 down in the first quarter to win by 10. And tonight, Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv trailed by 11 in the first half, came back and won this game and became champions again. I would want to not lead early in the game in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague championship game.
That's a good observation, Frank. But we also talked about one thing. We spoke about the shooting performance of Real Madrid on Friday, and we said, is it possible, is it humanly possible to duplicate such an effort? And it showed that it was at times a lot more difficult for Real Madrid to play and face a different defense, different style of defense every time down.
We are waiting to see if we can talk to a couple more of the champions as they celebrate with their fans. The town in Milan is painted yellow tonight, inside the arena, outside the arena, where there was an overflow of Maccabi fans, some of whom couldn't get tickets. They were out enjoying it. They wanted to be as close as possible to their fans here, to their team here in Milan. So some of them had to enjoy it on TV outside the arena. But Milan, Milan has seen Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv come, be seen and conquer the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague trophy. You see them celebrating. Yegemo Hayon. Look at Sean James injured in the middle of the season, and he gets a trophy as well, much deserved. We are waiting to talk to two or more of the champions. We think we're about to talk to our MVP, Tyrese Rice, and we will indeed hear what he has to say about winning this title.
Frank and George, we're with Tyrese Rice. He's got his hands full right now. How does it feel?
Hey, this is an unbelievable feeling right now, man. I can't describe it. I can't explain it. Like I don't even understand what just happened right now. I probably won't get it for another week or two.
What made the difference tonight? What made the difference? What were the keys in the game tonight?
Man, we fought. We fought to the end, man. You're playing against a great team in Madrid, best team in Europe. I mean, what can you do? You can't do nothing but fight. You can't do anything but, leave it out there on the floor and play with your heart, and we did it.
I thought it was a remarkable performance, not only tonight, but in the semifinals. But tonight, you guys gave up the lead. You had a 4-point lead with less than a minute to play. You had the last shot, you didn't hit it, but you came back and you didn't hesitate to hit that three early in the overtime.
Man, missing that last shot, man, I was really kind of mad and disappointed in myself, because I'm like, this is you're supposed to make these shots. These are practice shots. No matter the moment, these are shots you have to make. But at the end of the game, we came down, we got stops. We made free throws at the end of the game. We made shots at the end of the game, and everything goes to take care of itself.
No, I'd like to say you didn't hesitate when you had that open look in the overtime. That showed a lot of character. Can you tell us how much of a difference? How many points are these fans worth?
Man, these fans are worth all 98. Without these fans here, without them on our backs, without them, traveling so far from Israel and being with us every step of the way, it wouldn't be possible for us.
Enjoy this tremendous effort and victory. Enjoy the trophies. Congratulations. We had a lot of fun watching you guys.
Thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot.
Coach. There we heard from the MVP, Tyrese Rice. Unbelievable performance. 21 of his 26 points scored in the second half and overtime. Unbelievable game when we saw 18 lead changes in the second half and overtime. First overtime game in Turkish Airlines EuroLeague championship game history, and it all came to the heart of Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv, winning by 12, 86-98 over Real Madrid. Let's go and talk to David Blatt, the winning head coach of Maccabi.
Coach David Blatt, how does it feel right now? This is your first EuroLeague title. You were involved with Maccabi through the years, the other titles. How does it feel right now? What's running through your head?
I just wanted to live up to the unbelievable support that we had here in Milan with about 9,000 fans and millions in Israel and all over the world that support Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv. I knew we had it in us. I just was hoping we could control the tempo of the game and keep the game in our kind of way. We did. We missed a shot at the end of regulation, but we had them on their heels the whole game. We knew what we were doing, and I really think we deserved the title.
You had a tough season. Just to get to the Final Four was remarkable. You had to get through. You had to overcome a home court advantage.
Yeah.
When did you really actually believe you had the chance to be champions of the EuroLeague?
Yeah, I thought that, we set not long-term goals, we set short-term goals. We went step by step, but I knew we had the right stuff when we beat Milano here in the first game down 12 with under 2 minutes to go. That was something spectacular. That's a sign from above. In Greek mythology, they would tell you it's a white dove or an olive branch. And, I knew right then and there that something special was going to happen. I didn't know it was going to go this far, but it did, and I'm happy.
What did you think about the pace of the game? You guys scored 98 points tonight against a Real Madrid team. Let's face it, Real Madrid is one of the best teams in EuroLeague. I mean, they've proved it all season. They've broken the scoring records. Did you ever think that you could win a game scoring this many points?
Johnny, we played them twice this year. We played them in Madrid. We lost the game in the last few possessions and kept them at about 75 points. They were 99 points a game in Madrid. We played them in Tel Aviv. We lost by a point in a very, very low-scoring game. Again, the kind of game that we wanted to play. You don't beat a great team 3 times in a row. They weren't going to beat us 3 times in a row.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much, man.
Okay, thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
David Blatt, the head coach of the new Turkish Airlines EuroLeague champions, Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv, has been with that team for a long time. Finally wins his first as a head coach. He won one as an assistant coach as well, or two. And here is how his team did it. Here you see some of the images from this fantastic final. You have to say congratulations to Real Madrid as well for giving us a season-long show that ended with the first overtime game in EuroLeague final history. But here, as you see, some of the stars and, of course, the Maccabi big plays that let them win this in overtime. We have had a fantastic season, fantastic final. Thank you for joining us, and see you next season in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
Turkish Airlines EuroLeague. I feel devotion.
Game presented by Turkish Airlines, Spalding, Intersport, 7 Days.